once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and boy, you got me cracking up already, man. As the opening credits are rolling, you're putting the pressure on me. This better be good, Jack. I agree. And yeah, Jack MF and Talcott in the house. The expectations are high. Blessings and greetings to all of you swinging through already. I truly do appreciate everyone who does. Today, I am excited to see what the day may bring. We never do know, but part of what today is going to bring, it's tied to the topic today, reversing course. I'm deliberating. I've already been seeing myself changing and adjusting courses. More recently, back to this world peace kick and focus on that. I'm not changing away from that. I'm confident that is my purpose and path. But is that purpose and path tied to here? That's the part I got to figure out. Anyway, reversing course. I do envision today opening up the conversations, having a more laid back type of feel again. That's my hope, because today, I don't have the pages of notes. I don't have the heart that's just overwhelming with these ideas and thoughts that I want to get out. I want to slow it down. I feel that it's more important to be clear, and to be clear, it helps if I'm calm. So if I can stay calm and stay clear, maybe we can get some of these ideas out. And frankly, I don't mind being an example of reversing course. I mean, that's part of my life testimony, is I've had to change directions a lot of times. Things I said I would never do, I had to do because it was the only way through. We'll get more into some of those details later. But to start with, something fun in the idea of the thumbnail, just a happy Thursday. May your heart be blessed. May your day be happy. Truly, it is as simple as bringing your awareness to the blessings in your life. When you do that, happiness emerges. That's how you find the blessings in your heart. You connect your awareness to the blessings in your life, and then the happiness emerges. You feel it in your heart space and your body. And it's simple and obvious to know you don't want to lose sight. You do not want to lose sight of what brings you joy. What would cause someone to lose sight of what brings them joy? Many factors. There's many factors involved. No one wants to live a miserable life. No one wants to carry around pain and misery and heartache and depression and all of that crap. No one chooses that. I'm sure maybe at some level, I guess we do, but there's a lot of things that are going into my mind, and there's a lot of variables included in everything. Seriously. Austin, perfect timing. Just got off work. Blessings to you. You know what? Wow. What do I do? Part of my conflict, the inner conflict you're witnessing me dealing with right now, the inner conflict is my desire for two things. I want to share some of these ideas clearly, but I feel that sometimes the best way to share ideas clearly is through communication. So you get multiple perspectives involved rather than just a dialogue, right? Rather than just listening to the gray beard guy talk. Maybe if we have open communication. But tell you what, the ironic thing about today, I already recognize it. What's on the thumbnail is not really connected to the topic and is not really connected to the background. The background of deception and secrecy keeps us at war. Truth and compassion bring peace. That's a little bit different than may your heart be blessed and your day be happy, right? And then those two as well, reversing course, repentance and change. Well, that's what our world is going to need, is a little repentance, a little change. That's really what change is a repentance. That's what repentance is a change. And if you're going to repent, you're reversing course. You're changing your direction. Oh no. That can be scary, can it? When you go a different direction, you have to humble yourself and say, well, I guess this way didn't work out. Time to go somewhere new. And then you got to carry the memory of failure and defeat. I've been that way. I've gone that route. Some of the ideas I want to, I hope to, when I open this up, I hope to have some conversations on the bigger picture of the world that we live in. Initially, though, we can start small on the individual level. And some of the individual level I'm talking about is, it is okay. It is okay for each of us to change course, right? To back off from the direction we were going. It's appropriate sometimes, and sometimes it's necessary. Kind of ties into the idea of the roles that we play. Actually, maybe I'm confusing. I'm intermixing a few ideas and thoughts here, partly intentionally, but the first foundation I think to point out and just remind is how we live our lives, how we go through our days. That really is more important than what we believe as far as politics or economics or religions, right? What really matters is how we live. If we can live a good life, if we can do good acts, doesn't matter what you call yourself, whether you call yourself a Christian or a Muslim or an atheist or whatever you want to say. You can call yourself whatever you want, but how you live, how each of us live, it is so more important than what we think. The downside to that, the reality is, though, is how you think is directly related to how you live. Okay? But if you can focus on living a good life, doing good acts, regardless of the title you call yourself, it brings harmony. Harmony is alignment with the divine. And the divine is magical. It's perfection. It's miraculous, right? So the idea is to bring harmony with the divine through your day-to-day living, through your day-to-day being. And the day-to-day being, it's only done a moment at a time, right? So if you step out of harmony, it's okay. It's okay as long as you bring yourself back in line. You reverse course when you step out of line. It's really that simple. How we live, how we act, the deeds that we share with each other, that is so much more important than the words and the stories we tell ourselves. However, the words and the stories we tell ourselves are going to be witnessed, right? They're going to come through in the choices and the actions that we take, because our choices, your choices, my choices, they're limited by our own individual beliefs. And our beliefs are directly related to the roles, the identities that we assume, right? I assume the role of a man. And in my upbringing, I had in my head, whether it was clear or not, in my head, I had an idea and a definition of what a man was. And what a man was is will choose these things and it will not choose these things, right? So for me, man doesn't cry. A man doesn't back down. A man is ready to fight. A man is ready to work. A man is ready to die, right? Those are the things that a man does. And that was in my head, right? And so that affected my choices. There's many different definitions of what a man can be. And in my new definitions of what a man is, Jesus. That's the example. I don't know of any others, none better. That's the example of the man that I choose to be and to want to be like, right? A man who is perfected with love. Now, I can't do that on my own. That would be a grace and a gift by God. But should I want it, I really can't imagine God denying it if I'm willing to sacrifice myself in order to be perfected with love. Well, and if one could be perfected with love, then then they would carry with them the truth, right? The truth would be offered through them with grace, for that's what love brings. Love brings truth and honesty with grace. It seems all these things go together. And hey, blessings to all of you swinging through. I do appreciate it, man. uh, where was this? This wonder if there's a death coach, just like a life coach. Death, life, it's two sides of the same coin, right? One is the other, one is not the other. It's all the same, it's just different. That's what life brings, right? Life and death, they're polarities. And since, folks are showing up and we haven't been running long, but like I said, today I am reversing course a little bit. I've been on my I got on my high horse and you're not talking the topic with me. Today I'm feeling a little more laid back and I'm hoping to be more inviting. Now, the one condition is going to continue. Respect is a requirement. Those who bring respect are welcome to click the link. Welcome to join. Okay, Arctic, you brought up a disagreement. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. Just because you disagree doesn't mean I'm wrong, and I don't agree with you. How is death a different coin than life? Is death not the absence of life? That's I don't see the logic in your disagreement. And see, this is where the link is dropped, the link is pinned for those who do wish to join. I am reasonable, and I'll consider different perspectives, but just because someone disagrees, just because you find a disagreement does not mean someone else is wrong. It's up to you to prove that either the disagreement is relevant, to prove that you actually understand the nature and the position of what you're disagreeing with. But we live in a world where you don't have to think things through. All you got to do is just do what you're told. As long as you do what you're told, you'll be safe, right? You just follow the rules, and then the ICE agents, they won't take you away. The police, they won't harass you. You won't get murdered or shot if you just obey, if you just follow the rules and do what they say. Isn't that the world we've created where Donald Trump is king? Apparently, I keep hearing him say he ended 8 wars. What the hell did that happen? I've never seen that. This world is just so out of control and backwards, man. And as I'm speaking and I'm bringing up these examples that are in my mind, I recognize how much better I could do at bringing up some clips and images, sharing some examples and visuals of what it is I'm trying to explain, man. Because I see the state of this world right now, and it is time. It is time for humanity to reverse its course collectively. Okay? Who's going to change the world if it's not us? People like us. Now, maybe you feel you're not qualified, and maybe you feel I'm not qualified, and that's fine. Let's find those who are, and let's get them to step up. Let's get others to do what we need. We need to change this world because the way it's going, man, holy cows. I trust that God has something pretty amazing in store for us. I truly, truly do. I hope. I hope. Trump not only desires wars, he would absolutely support a civil one here in the US. He's starting it. He does. He's pretty much declaring war on the liberals, whoever that might be. And since the name calling is, it's in the eyes of the beholder. Samsonite, blessings to you. Thank you. I believe that this is what God is doing with me. I am opposite to Trump in pretty much every way. Pretty much every way. As I'm saying that, it's absolutely true. He's taller than me. He's fatter than me. He's older than me. He's more wealthy than me. He's more powerful than me. He's more influential than me. I will not say that man is smarter than me, so maybe I'm the smarter one. Could that be true? I've given my life to God, so there's got to be some value in that choice, right? But here, that brings us back to the idea. I can't fault Donald Trump for that. His choices, just like my choices, are limited by beliefs, right? And he's got his beliefs just like many others have their beliefs, and I've got my beliefs. We've all got our own beliefs, but the beliefs that we carry of who we are, the identity of who I am, the role that I play, just like he's played his roles. He's been a businessman and a property investor and all this other stuff, right? He's played those roles and he's made his decisions based upon the life he's been given, just like you, just like me, just like everybody else in this world. Doesn't mean that he's right or wrong or I'm right or wrong. What matters is the facts. What do the facts show? Are we living in harmony with the divine? How do you know? How do you know if you are how do you know if you are living in line with the divine? Chuck, you are so susceptible to the propaganda, man. Do you think it's true? Do you think it's true, Chuck? And I don't want to assume, let me not jump to conclusions. Maybe you're genuinely asking out of curiosity and not knowing. Did Trump just settle with Greenland with all his rhetoric about invading? Well, I know I just saw on the news earlier that there's 82nd Airborne Troops, I think was the division up in Canada. They're already, no, that was to be deployed into Minnesota, not Greenland. That was for Minnesota. That's right. We're getting troops activated to go invade the US. So, hey, maybe he's not invading Greenland. Maybe he's going to invade Minnesota first. Fuck, oh dear. This, man. We live in a world where actors, I mean, Donald Trump is a reality TV star. Zelensky was a friggin' actor too. It's like, it's right in front of our faces, guys. If we're not going to change the world, do you think Donald Trump is going to do what we want? Do you think these actors are going to do what's right? No. They're going to keep playing the roles they've been told. That board of peace. Oh my goodness. I saw that too. And initially, I thought, when I first heard of a board of peace, I thought, I wonder if that is a legitimacy. I wonder if there's any way to get a citizen involved in that. And then I see Donald Trump, he wants to sell seats on the board of peace for $1 billion. So if a nation coughs up $1 billion, they get to be on the board of peace. And, where Donald Trump is the chairman. Mr. Apprentice Guru, Sir Jack. Option are available to not cycle in the insanity. Figure it out, motherfucker, sir. I don't understand your English, my friend. El Pero, thank you for your response. Hey, man, this is the truth. He is vengeful. He is godless. Brothers and sisters, the signs are so obvious, so clear for anyone who is honest about what is going on. Hey, boy, a GoFundMe for Jack. The initial goal of $1 billion to get a seat on the board of peace with Donald Trump, and the other, he's reaching out to these. What's the terms? He's reaching out to these other fascists, right? These other dictators, inviting them to join. It's truly a criminal enterprise, but it makes sense. Think about this. We live in a world where the economy is king. We've got both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans. They don't give a shit about freedom. They don't give a shit about principles or liberties. They care about the money, right? Because it's all about the budget. That's what they've been taught. The budget is controlling everything. That's what that Doge clown show was all about. Oh, we're clearing things up because we're rewriting a budget. We're slashing the costs and doing this, and then people's jobs are cut off and real support goes away because to some accountant it made sense. But in a world where men and women believe that the money is king, we elect a clown like Donald Trump and give him power. So he brings in the other kings, right? The other royalty, the tech boys and the billionaire class. You look into some of the records of the pardons that Donald Trump has been giving, some of the sweetheart deals that he's been making. I heard something about it's an exorbitant amount of money, the billions of dollars that he has made as a businessman while in office as the commander in chief. And he's making billions from corporate entities and foreign entities. He is on the payroll of people that don't care about your freedom, don't care about my freedom, don't care about your peace and your longevity or mine. We've got people in this world that are insane. Why? Because God allowed it. Because we get to believe whatever we want. And if we don't look out for each other, people will believe whatever they want. Okay? If we don't look out for each other, people will believe in some of the craziest things. And we live in a world where the dollar has been king. I invite you to join me. Let's live in a world where Christ is king. Let's live in a world where the truth reigns supreme. not authority, not budgets, not wealth, not profits, not debts, where the truth reigns supreme and where the truth is shared with love, where we unite those two together again. Hank, thank you for your contributions and support, my friend. Can you tell us more about the quasi-Christian color of Bible, doomsday cult, snafu snaps, and Matami seem to be in? That is an interesting one. They call it Christianity, but if you listen to their words and you watch their behavior, it's quite anti-Christian to be a false accuser, right? Of so many, to be so disingenuous and hateful towards so many, so unforgiving. That's the term I'm dancing around to. Those who lack forgiveness are not representing Christianity in the proper way. That's Jack's opinion, and I can explain it fully. We have we have a guest. Buster Keister, the chairman of the board. Welcome.
Greetings, Mr. Talcott. I have a clip for you. Next time Chuck or anybody brings up how great old Donnie Boy is, we could play the clip of him saying, quote, "Smart people don't like me," end quote. It's a great clip. Sums it all up, right?
It really is, man. Dude. Hey, you join in with other ideas or thoughts, please?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. I'm just kind of I'm in this energy where I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and I don't want to be all negative and complaining, but I'm looking at the world today and I'm just like, who's going to do something? That's what I'm wondering. It's got to be us.
That is the question and seemingly the answer. Yes. I think we've been over this. We've been over this at least once or twice.
I know.
Here we are.
Yeah. Hey, there's something I meant. Sorry to distract from you. Voy, I see you in the chat, and I've been wondering about this. Tell me if that's a problem for you. I'm going to invite you to join the bigger group of blue. Well, this
you always make great choices, Jack, when it comes to moderatorship. There's no denying that. You have an eye for that sort of thing.
It might be I just see someone who doesn't have one, and so I give it away.
Ironically, I don't think I have one, but whatever. I mean, I may not deserve it at this point, right? We have some history.
We do, but I thought I remembered you saying don't, right? And that might be wrong, but I know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I could go from leader to boss really quick. I'm a lot like Donald Trump. See, you're nothing like him. I'm a lot like him. I've heard you say this, so I'm running with that. And I can't necessarily handle power. You give me too much power, I might start using it, and people start complaining. I don't care, and then it gets ugly, right? I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, we are. We're maturing. We are maturing. Give them the keys. We played that game before. And,
you gotta admit it was a lot of fun, right? when you were Mr. Love / Angry Cot, and I was kind of full on the rights and freedom train, and also why is everyone here doing what they're doing train. I mean, you give me the keys now, it's like, I don't know, it's just not what it would be. I'd almost have to dig deep to find that space of hatred or discontent and act out to make it interesting, And I caught a lot of shit for that, right? I thought that I was actually entertaining people on some level with my seeming madness.
You know what? It serves its purpose. We have had fun together. This experience online, how productive has it been? You know, how fruitful? I don't know. I don't know, but
Oh, absolutely nothing. Zero. when it comes to this panel verse, right? Like I have a few things that I could say, okay, there's been some some progression
oh,
there or some inspiration. When it comes to this panel verse, yeah, it's its own entity of nothingness, you know. It's the alpha and omega simultaneously. It's the everything for the panel verse and it's nothingness all in one.
it really is. But I haven't lost. Have I lost faith?
We'll check back. We'll go to the audience and we'll check back. Go to the satellite uplink.
Right. Well, actually, I can't deny that. I've genuinely met some pretty amazing people through this whole YouTube experience, and right here, I mean, Paul Enslaved, it really is an honor. I wouldn't have met you had I not joined and started out this stuff.
I'm sure some folks would say you'd have been better off if you'd taken that path.
There are some who might say, but you know what? I don't live with regrets a lot, not anymore. I try not to. I consciously try to avoid doing things I might regret. But these
And you
days,
still did this broadcast today anyway, huh?
I know.
Look at you
I
go.
know.
I'm teasing.
Well, every day I start it, it's like 50-50. I'm either going to do things I regret or I'll make it through another one. And either way, I make it through. But the topic today about reversing course, in a way, that is what I'm doing. I feel like I am. It may look the same. It probably does. On the outside, it might look just the same, that there's no difference. But I do feel like I've been changing my approach and my purpose a little bit more and more.
Are you
have
planning on moving to the whitest state on America?
Which one is that?
After Baltimore? I figured you're saying you're reversing course. So whatever the whitest state is, that's what you should be headed toward at this point.
That might be.
After Baltimore.
My first thought, I was initially thinking it might have been Minnesota, but once ice is done, maybe Minnesota will be the whitest state again. I don't know what they're doing with the way they're going there.
I could see that. It's although, you know, has its places, right? I think I've been there.
So,
oh no, I'm thinking of Wisconsin, which is right near there, Green Bay or whatever. Minnesota. What would be the main? Minneapolis, I guess.
Minneapolis. Yeah. I knew in Korea, one of my friends, I can't remember his name there, but I remember a guy, he was from Minneapolis, and he was the quirkiest guy I'd ever met. He was just, I mean, he wasn't the quirkiest, but he was just a bizarre little dude. And the way he talked about Minneapolis and such, I always thought it would be an interesting place, especially if it produced people like him. I remember him being kind of a racist too. So maybe that's why I thought that's the way the state was. But anyway.
So I just pulled it up. Top five whitest states. All right. Number 1, West Virginia, 95.8, almost 96% white. Number 2, Vermont. Makes sense. 95.63. Maine. I know why the moose creature lives there now. 93.3. And New Hampshire coming in at almost 92%.
Wow. I would not have guessed West Virginia. But I lived in Vermont when I was a young kid, at least for a year.
I could have guessed West Virginia. I'm pretty sure when you think of like slavery and whips and chains and shit like that, West Virginia's in the top of that list. A place black people are probably just constantly leaving, you know. Doesn't have the best reputation.
I can understand that for sure, man. Um, hey, a question I wrote down and I haven't brought up yet. If there was if we had the power to change this world, would we?
Wow, there you go. Uh, who's the we in your scenario, Jack? Because you do this a lot. You say we, and then we're all not quite sure who you're talking about. Like you,
All right.
Donald Trump, Don Lemon, you and I, you and
If you
Tom.
if you had the power to change the world, would you?
I don't know. I'd have to, I guess, cross that bridge when I come to it. But I suppose that I would sit with it. My first inclination would be yes. Upon deeper reflection and meditation, no, because at that point I'd be playing God, right? Or stepping in for
Mhm.
other people. And even if we were getting results we don't like, it's probably not proper to overwrite the voluntary decision of others, right? That would be that would be trying to stay in keeping with the prime directive, I think is one way that it's put forth, right? That everyone has to choose, and then what we get is what we get. We don't get a right to overwrite that. The Tao reads something about that, right? Do you think you can take on the control of this universe and make it better or do it better? It cannot be done. So pretty much saying whatever is meant to be, right? Um, yeah, we get what we get.
To some degree, I get that, right? However, um, I'm the one I say, yeah, I'm going to change the world.
Jack, I'm supposed to be the, as you put it, egoic one in this scenario. You're supposed to be the death coach who's completely let go and surrendered.
I know. Well, that yes, you're right, and that is part of the dichotomy, part of the contradiction I am kind of facing. I saw a nice visual, a graphic on social media recently about, it's got two images of a guy in a suit sitting there meditating, and then a guy in like a robe and the monk get up, the monk attire, um, sitting there meditating. And above the monk is a capture of silence, right? Just being. And then the guy with the suit is manifesting and success and this and that. The true path of enlightenment, I suppose, is just to be in flow, right? No desire, no no real force. The other side of that, though, is I am convinced that the way our lives are unfolded is through the ideas that we find. And if an idea is good, right, if you really test the idea and the idea is sound and solid, then you receive the idea for a reason. and, and that's why I've been unwilling to let go of these ideas of trying to find a way. I mean, it's not just me, but if whoever we can be, as many of us can be, if we can find a way to interrupt this sick shit that's going on the national stage, that'd be exciting.
Well, you better get down to that uh, congressional hall or whatever it was you were in front of and fake a heart attack or a seizure or something so we can get back in touch with Don Lemon. And he's our only hope. Did you hear they're going after him lately now? There's been a lot of synchronicities from the bottom of YouTube to the top of the bottom we call government.
Yep.
Yeah, they're now they're all telling everyone you got to be a citizen. That's the big thing, right? We've been talking citizenship for a while as far as legal lawful, and now it's be prepared to prove your citizenship. So there's definitely something going on when it comes to a change of perspective and position, it seems, and a struggle to hold on to that position and perspective. I think it's already happening. Whether you and I think that it should happen more or not, because I could go there, right? I think that it's happening on its own time, right? When it's supposed to, and there potentially may have to be, Tom would give you this rap. The Bible and all the prophecy says there's got to be a whole bunch of stuff before the complete return, right? Of the Messiah. You can argue that's conscious and awareness, truth, honor, good faith. It's all synonymous with that. You could argue it.
Yeah. And there are people who are, a lot of the opposition I find is people who are relying on the stuff from the books, right? That, God's not going to allow the world to change until the rivers dry up and this number of people die and this happens and that happens, right? It's like, got to follow the script. Otherwise, it's not real, Jack. Wait, what? No, it's real when it doesn't follow a script. That's kind of the message of life that I've learned. When you follow a script, you're following someone else's rules. Following someone else's rules, you're following someone else's orders. And if you're following someone else's orders, you're working for their goals, not your own. I'm convinced, Paul, we were created to be leaders. That's what we're doing. Hey, we've got a Callie in the back. I'm going to explore this. Callie? Are you there? Callie, you're muted, and I got you up.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Why do now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, there's a little bit of music in my background. Hopefully it's not picking up.
I don't hear it. Not
Good.
too bad.
Good. I just joined in the middle of you guys' conversation. But
Okay.
I appreciate what your mission is, Jack, to have peace in the world. Am I correct?
Yes. Thank you.
World peace.
Ideally, yes.
I
Hopefully.
mean, for me, I've just lost hope. It's kind of refreshing to hear, somebody not giving up on this place.
Thank you. I understand that losing hope, though, too.
I know you've been through it, right?
Yes. But there's plenty of reasons to disbelieve. There really are. I get that. And so I try not to judge or fault people too much if they don't.
And your solution, okay, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I was for me, your solution is God will repair society, humanity, whatever you call it. That's your plan, your mission. Because the last time you were going to see Trump, when I was listening to you, but that you had obstacles with that, right?
Well, it's quite a here. I'm going to test this, making some adjustments on your mic. Hopefully it'll help. But
do I not sound very clear?
No, it's fine. I turned you up just a little bit, and
okay.
Well, initially I've had this individual dream and idea that somehow maybe there was a way that I could speak to Trump, but it doesn't have to be me. It really doesn't. And that idea of trying to speak to the commander-in-chief, right, the president, yeah, that's not a real easy goal, I guess.
No,
but
because we're just a small fry. Just be real. How the fuck are we going to go meet him? That's what I was thinking in my head. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying.
It's a fair question. And my answer to that is we all know someone. And the people we know, they know someone else. And eventually, I mean, I saw it for myself from the people who I knew face to face, I had shook hands with and I met face to face. I was 4 to 6 phone calls away from Donald Trump in his first term. I've been pursuing these ideas since then.
To actually talking to Donald Trump.
Well,
And
to
do you
speak
think
with
you're still pursuing that, or is that over?
for about a for a little while, I gave up on the idea of trying to do this, but I do believe that the solution is through Congress. It's through these systems, confronting these systems and the people who operate the systems, and we lead them to reverse course. So where I'm at now physically, I'm just outside of Washington, D.C. Geographically, I'm available. Um, the idea is if we can get the if we can get voices of the people for this purpose, the purpose of demanding and leading our government into righteous reforms. It can be either through the executive branch with Donald Trump and his cronies, or through Congress and those cronies, right? But the goal either way is to end the wars here in America. Because when these people take off the Republican hat and the Democrat hat, maybe we can have conversations like human beings, like actual people of the land. And if we can speak to each other, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Do you not think a lot of people have tried that through centuries and just do you not think like I mean I really respect that you have this. Uh, do you think there's going to be a shift in this society, this humanity? But I think it's always been like that. For me, that is my perspective from my experiences. And so when I listen to you, it is completely the opposite. And it can come across like you're a fraud, like you're just trying to do this to benefit you. I mean, I don't listen to your show that much, so I'm not trying to put you down because I know you get
All
a
right.
lot of guests. So I want to be a respectful guest on your
Thank you.
show. I
You
do
are.
not want to offend you because we do. I live in America, and we do have a freedom of speech of saying what we have to say, even though as long as it's respectful. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. Um, and you are. I feel you are being respectful, and I do appreciate it. And to answer, the more I looked into history, I saw how long these things have been continuing. And in my view, I don't claim to have an exact picture or know all the details. Here, for just a moment, I'm going to mute you. Thank you. Um, I don't claim to have all the answers or all the details, but what I do claim is that I've learned enough about history to see the patterns, and the patterns are true. The patterns are actually undeniable. Mankind has willingly consented to corruption, especially here in America. It's been since the beginning, but in the past, in the early years of the nation, the people were not as well educated. We didn't have the connection and the communications that we have today. But I'm convinced that God, the universal power that unfolds the days with us, it's leading us to these solutions. So the idea, Callie, is that I think we've learned enough, and if we unite together, we can bring change.
I just don't feel that united word just seems very watered down to me
It has been.
through the years that I've in my existence, and I feel like a lot of people use that word just to it's like like a false hope Again, I'm not trying to offend you, Jack.
No. How
You know,
about
I
this?
really respect the idea is like, yeah, that's like the idea of have all of us to get along, us to not to work as when I say us, I'm saying society, where we don't have to struggle to pay bills, to pay for our homes, food, and just surviving in your body. I mean, that itself, even though if you have like shelter and food, as your body is aging, it is brutal how you get all these illnesses and suffering. There's no stopping, and if there was actually a God, He would soothe our pain and make everything better, right? We can't be that bad of a people. If there was that true God, he would be loving. To me, a true loving God is male, masculine, and is extremely loving, and also disciplines when needs to, but it's like tough love. So we can learn from our mistakes. Doesn't just, you know, because I feel like if you're just giving too much love or generosity to even a child, that child will be spoiled rotten, right? But a true loving God, a dad, he's going to be very loving. It's a different kind of love. I don't know how to explain it. That
I
makes
agree.
sense.
I agree.
And that feels safe, protection. I feel like everybody wants that security, especially women. They look for that in a man because a man is like the god to them, giving them the security in the society. And then women are the nurturers, loving, and men are the providers. And they show different kind of love, but they show the strength, and they're the ones who actually build this whole fucking society and stuff. Men have that logic sense where women don't. They're because of their home, the biological body of a woman and a man is completely different.
It's the differences create the wholeness though. And that's what I see regarding the idea of the father, the masculine, loving and powerful and firm, right? Tough love sometimes. If we expand our mind beyond just our lifetime and look at the greater picture of society, to me, it does make sense that this is what God has been doing. God has been there with us, right? Lovingly and gently leading us. But we individually and collectively, we have the ability to choose. And every choice we make will have consequences, right? And so the consequences of our past choices has created a world where sometimes it's tough to survive, right? But this is the world we've created, and it's tough to survive because we've allowed ourselves to be divided. We've divided from each other. We've divided from God, which is, to me, we've divided from the truth. And this is where, back to your apprehension on the word of unity, I totally get it. That word has been totally twisted, and things have been distorted in our reality in so many different ways. But if you break down what is it that unites people, when people unite, they typically find a bond, and in that bond there is an agreement. And so the agreement is typically, not always, typically with the truth, or at least an aspect of the truth. That way, if it's even if they're wrong, they're all collectively looking at the same aspect of the truth. So if we choose to unite individually and collectively with the truth, even if we don't like the truth, if we can unite with the truth, we can end this false reality where Donald Trump is king.
But the truth is so jaded. It is based on what we see in the media. We're not actually there. We're not actually there with Trump or anything. We don't even know if these people are even like like AI, like you're basing it all on not 100% proof. For me, I want to know the 100% proof. I'm very extremely skeptical about a lot of different things. So even when I watch things on the news, just how they show the news, they show certain images. I think it is a complete scripted, just to try to get a reaction from the viewer. So for me,
Yeah.
I don't even. I've never voted. I've lived in America for 30 years. I'm an immigrant that I moved 30 years ago. I didn't get any fucking free health care, free housing, anything. I came here on my own and I had to pay everything myself. I paid taxes, everything. And a lot of people just already, even on the internet, they think that I'm just like a third world immigrant, and they have these harsh judgments without actually even going to third world and seeing to live without your means. Because in the Western world, you have everything. It's a wonderland here. It's Disneyland, I call it. Everything
Yeah.
and access. All you need is money, and money that you're going to be working your ass off at a corporation, and you have very little time to yourself. Where in third world countries, so what? You're shitting in a bucket or a fucking hole, and then they'll make fun of you, but they still have freedom of time, and they have a more of a community. Um, and in Western cultures, maybe it used to be better. I feel like things used to be better. Um, Not even COVID. I think 2012, the whole world shift. Everything just turned into fucking shit, like literally shit. People turned shitty, like fucking assholes. Or maybe they've always been like that and the internet just made it more.
Bingo.
There you go.
It's just like the most fucking shittiest, psychotic, uh, fucking just all kinds of like, I just couldn't even, like, I was like, or maybe my frontal, you don't realize when you're young, and when you get older you really see the whole picture of how sick and nasty this place is. Just your whole existence here is nasty. Even if things do a change, Jack, you're still gonna die and just get sick and suffer. And is God gonna be there for you, holding your hand, like, oh, Jack, everything's gonna be okay?
Well,
Like,
here,
what are you thinking, Jack? What I just don't understand. I'm not trying to be mad at you. I'm just trying to
I know,
understand it even for myself.
I know. You brought up a few things though. Thank you. This the first thing I want to try and get to is this idea of the truth, right? Um, you mentioned you want to know the whole truth, and many people do, right? But the reality is sometimes the answers are not in our reach. And what I found in my life, as much as I wanted to have the answers before I moved forward, there were many times I couldn't wait. I had to move forward without all the answers. Why? Because conditions required it, right? Um, and and we live in this world where, what was the guy, Casey from the CIA, right? They'll know their operation is great, where the people of the land don't know what is real. When there's so many lies, you can't know what is true, and if you can't know what is true, it can create indecision. And I tell you what, indecision can be a very dangerous choice to make, right? If we allow ourselves to be stopped and paused by indecision, we can miss out on opportunities. We can see things fade away, right? Um, so,
Or not thinking critically and being tunnel vision and being too stubborn to believing what your beliefs were, instead of investigating. But even when you investigate, you don't know exactly the 100% truth. Like, to me, truth has been watered down. One person's truth is different from another, just because they've had the different experience. um, so that's how we have all this conflict with each other online, because everybody wants to be right.
right, that's the identities. And the society has conditioned us to believe in our identities and to believe that we can't know or we don't know. But the reality is we know what we need to know when it's time for us to know. That's what I've been learning. And so this is also kind of, this might be I'm not sure if, tell you what, Jack, just get it out.
Get it out, Jack.
Regarding scale, right? There's the only thing that we can truly know is the present moment, right? The serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to change the things I can, to whatever. What is the right words? Damn it. I just looked this up recently. To control what we can. And right now, legitimately, talking to the people in the White House, talking to the people in Congress, that's not reality right now. It's an idea. That's all it is. But if I can bring my reality into that idea, that's the path I want to go. So I think I'm trying to answer that question too, about what happens when the body starts breaking down, and is God there, and this and this and that. To me, what I've come to realize for myself is God is far more real than I am. I actually only believe that I am. I used to believe that I was a soldier, an alcoholic, a postal worker, a dad. I used to believe all these things that I was, but I never was those things. They were just ideas and roles that I was playing. But
I'm sorry, you were those things because you experienced that. So what are you trying to say? You were not those things?
no, I was the awareness of being. And in my awareness of being, I chose to play those roles. I chose to experience those things, but those things are not who I was. The more I focus on the inner work, right, going within, and the questions in meditation, who am I? What am I? Who is this I that I'm referring to? Who is this I that is even asking the I, right? So going
So
with
who is this? Have you found that out, or are you still searching?
it is, I am nothing. I am no thing. I am that I am. And that I am is what God has brought me to be. Just like all of us. Every one of us we are and are not as we seem. It's this paradox. It's a simulation of time that we're in. Time is not real. It's a mental construct, right? We're just analyzing, interpreting, remembering, and imagining. We are just images in the mind. And in my mind is a version of all of you. All of you I've encountered. I have a version in my mind. All of you may have a version of me in your mind. So beyond the mental activities, we're just images in each other's mind, and in within our mind is the one mind. There is only the one mind of God from which all things emerge. And we are part of that all things that have emerged from the mind of the one God. I hope that this is how this is where my mind has gone. I hope it makes sense.
So do you think it's developed over time and it's changed? Because you've been thinking about this for a really long time, just from your experiences, right?
Well, in my personal real life, right? where I was experiencing, I was a dad, right? I got a paycheck at the post office. I got a paycheck from the army, right? I played those roles and those things were real. But in my experience, something happened with me, right? Something happened with me. I felt this shift in my consciousness, and all of a sudden I found love in my heart. And there was nobody around me. Nobody around me. And all of a sudden I was just overwhelmed with love, and these fucking tears started falling out of my eyes. And I'm like, whoa,
And
what's
where was
going
this
on?
love? It was almost like your aha moment. Would you say
Yes.
your aha moment?
I was I've shared this story before. It happened for me in December of 2017. About a year and a half in my path of sobriety after I got sober. I was doing a guided meditation and something shifted within me. And ever since I've been asking, right? To answer your question, ever since I've been asking that question, what is going on? What happened to me? Um, at the same time, when I had this inner shift within me, my entire world around me fell apart. I lost the job, I lost the family, I lost everything. And so I was literally left all alone for days, weeks, months. I became dead to the world. I no longer existed in the world. I was just here.
You basically piss on breadcrumbs, and then the God just saved you from in the light. It was like in the movies. Would
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah, my life kind of felt like a movie. I was waiting for, if you know that show Punked with Ashton Kutcher, I was literally looking around. Where's Ashton Kutcher, man? Where's the people are playing practical jokes on me? Because all of a sudden I went from being popular and trusted and appreciated to just despised and rejected and avoided. And so it didn't make sense. So with the change in everything that I was experiencing, I had a lot of time and reason to go within and reevaluate me. And so looking at that, that's where I started asking those questions. And I never asked those questions before. Who am I? I thought I knew who I was. I'm Jack Talcott, man. I'm a soldier. I'm a father. I'm a postal guy. I'm a union guy, whatever. I thought I knew who I was. I knew the roles I played. I knew the identity.
But that was still a you. I mean, like for me, when I think of my past, it's still me. I'm still me in my body. Uh, with all the experiences and stuff, it never goes away. It's like hardwired in there. And who knows? I mean, even if there wasn't a God, I mean, there's so many questions. Everything's gonna be compressed in a cookie. So you will never be able to. I mean, they have everything recorded from your birth to your death, basically. And if there was a God, then they record you basically from birth and death. And then I've never read the Bible. I grew up Hindu,
Okay.
my parents, but they didn't really enforce it on me. But I haven't listened to you that much, but I feel like you follow kind of like an open Christianity. You believe in Jesus, but then you're also into like the meditation that will
Yes,
come from Hinduism and Buddhism. Am I wrong or right?
that's accurate. Yes,
So you
accurate.
do you're open-minded in that you will take um, also things from Hinduism, and but with that there's different to God. So do you think they're all one, like Hinduism? There's a lot, from my understanding, just because I'm Hindu, is there's a lot of gods and goddesses, but they're not actually the god. They're just avatars of how humanity is, chaos beings, um, just half god, half man, half ant, like quarter animal, just based on our psyche. Even though we kind of look, we're human, we're kind of like part animal, part human, right? I feel we're built different. than the nature. If that makes sense. Maybe I'm rambling here.
It's making
But
sense.
it's
We're,
making sense. Okay. So I feel
we
like
are,
when you're saying when your meditation and stuff, um, because that's a lot of Hinduism and Buddhism connected together.
mhm,
With meditation, you're actually um, letting go of your body and actually getting your consciousness because it is never ending. We're never gonna die. We're eternal.
right.
So like a star shining, we're all stars. We're all stars in our own way, different, and there's no competition. And that would be a heaven to me, where there is no competition, where I don't have to suffer in my body. Because Hinduism, they believe that we came here before our bodies. We were energy.
Yeah.
Um, and
I,
just because you do suffer in your body, no matter how rich you are, stuff. They can pump you with all kinds of DNA, all kinds of things. You know, it's Scientology, which I don't even believe. But why would you even want to live here till like 100? I just don't even know why I'm existing this long. Um,
oh,
I don't want to talk about exiting, but I'll be okay if I just exit, just because this place is fucking brutal. Just nature itself is fucking brutal, and just if you lived and you have a sense of self-awareness, you would actually have a self-realization of how cruel this place is, and there is no savior.
mm. Hey, Callie, thank you. You said a lot. We've got a bunch of noise coming through, but what you were saying made a lot of sense. For my own path, I actually started with the Eastern philosophies in my research. Well, initially I started with science. In my quest to understand God, I wanted to understand the creation, right? I figured I might be able to understand the creator a little better if I understood the creation a little better. And I knew that I was a part of the creation. So I started looking into everything I could find in material sciences, and then psychology and neurosciences brought me into the different philosophies. And then as you go back in history and you look at the different philosophies, I did like kind of an overview of the evolution of, or the progression of the different religions and faiths. And from the Hindus, I can't remember the text. Is it the Vedas? Something like that? Ancient texts from India and the yogis from thousands of years ago, talking about the inner experience, talking
I
about
mean, a lot of it is watered down. And by the way, I didn't purposely try to show my face. I think I just hit the thing by accident. And now people are already judging me because I'm wearing sunglasses. I'm sorry. It's just, that's what I'm saying. How sick this fucking society is. They're already gonna fucking just take snapshots of my face and then just make fun of me. It's usually the people who don't even want to show their faces or even their voices heard. You know, so I'm just saying, just this ugly place that we live in, it's disgusting. I'm not just saying on the internet, but it's just in real life. Just
well, it can be, but actually that is in line with kind of my suggestion today. Is where we look is what we're going to find. And if we focus on the things that bring us disgust and anger, those are the things we're going to feel. We're going to feel more disgust and anger. This is what I was trying to remember. I got that noise. Um, I thought it was the Vedas. There's ancient wisdom that has been with us forever. And my understanding is, oh, here, by looking into some of the Eastern philosophies, the ideas of non-duality and looking into the different aspects of consciousness, when I finally went to the Bible and read the words of Jesus and the other writings, it made sense. And I've heard this before too. A Catholic priest was living with at a Buddhist monastery, and I don't remember the name, I might be misremembering, but I understood it as there's a Catholic with a Buddhist, and he says that the Buddhists helped him become a better Christian, right? The philosophies of Buddhism helped him become a better Christian. And it is true. That's the way I felt for me. By understanding non-duality, by taking in the aspects of mind and consciousness and the inner state of being, bringing that into the texts of the Abrahamic faiths, it made sense.
I mean, they say the Abrahamic faiths came way later than the Vedic texts, because the Vedic texts were here before even you came here in a body form, like on a material body. As I said, where it was all energy, no human body. And then the avatars, a lot of people make fun of. I'm not saying I'm a practicing Hindu. To be honest, I don't practice any kind of religion, even though I was raised Hindu. They didn't enforce it, and I've never read the Bible. Um, so I'm just saying it from the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad
Mm-hmm.
Gita is the Hindu Bible, and it says that this is all an illusion. It's not real. We're here in our bodies, but we're all energy, and we're just having this experience. But it is hell here. It is complete hell. And all those gods and goddesses are like how humans are, deranged, psychotic, half man, half woman, just kind of how transgender. It's already
They
been happening. This is being repeated over and over. There is no, there is never going to be a place here of peace. And for me, even like the reincarnation, just getting spit back here, even if you come back in a younger body, or you're still going to die and decay and go through the brutalness of this place. Your body's going to age. You're going to get older. Already, older people get extremely bad rep.
okay.
Actually, before I feel like back in the day, older people were treated with more respect. They had the wisdom because they went through all those experiences. So they would be looked up now. And now, older people are just looked as just worthless,
Well, it's
Just
because of this state of the world. The world has declined. We've descended our consciousness. Here, I'm going to mute you for a little bit. The societal conditionings, the way that society has evolved, it's actually declined our state of mind. It's a perfect design, and you could say it's devilish in design. We can get into the facts and the arguments that some of those people at the top of the hierarchy here in this world, that it's all commercial. They've sought answers from evil, right? They've worshipped the satanic idea, and the satanic idea, what is that going to do? What's the idea of temptation? It's going to be selfish in nature. So selfishness has been normalized here in the world. And I saw something earlier, just an observation, that pretty much everything in this world can be bought. That's what Donald Trump's looking at with Greenland and all these others. He's selling positions, right? As long as someone's got the money, you can sell anything. You can buy anything. Well, guess what that results in? If everything can be sold, do you think we have freedom anymore? Nope.
no, or free will.
Thank you. Thank you, Callie. Because consciousness, I saw this connection earlier, the activation of consciousness. As people activate their mind and make conscious choices, obedience dissolves, right? And people have been conditioned to obey. And that conditioned obedience has normalized hurting others, right? Trauma is normal. That's why children are taught, well, just suck it up. You know, you got hurt, just suck it up. I had to suck it up, so you suck it up. And then these children and adults, they go through their lives carrying these wounds that have never been healed, these mental wounds, these emotional wounds, and physical pains too. But Callie, I want you to allow yourself, please, the possibility, because we do not know the future. We can guess, we can estimate, we can theorize, but we will not know the future until the future reveals itself.
Or we don't know the 100% truth. Do you agree or you don't?
We don't know what?
The 100% truth.
Sure.
100% truth.
Yeah. 100% truth is God.
1,000% truth.
Well,
But what is that? That's what I want to know. I don't want to be fucking bullshitted. I don't want to be told lies. I don't want people to even like miscrew something that I'm saying about what I'm trying to, project my freedom of speech, free will, having that freedom to talk as long as I'm respectful, and we all make judgments. Do you not agree? We all make judgments about each other, everything. If you don't, then there's something wrong with you.
Mm-mm. Actually, there might be something right with you if you don't judge.
Exactly, and that's how we base. It's kind of like because we're like part animals, so we're trying to navigate ourselves in this. It's this existence is literally a jungle, and we're navigating ourselves between people, and I'm talking about people in real life, and then people on the internet, and who should we follow? But it also you have to have a very strong intuition, and dealt with a lot of experiences, because what you believe out, what's written in the media or some guru. I'm Indian. I've gone through a lot of different kinds of gurus. My dad almost died, and we went to a guru, and he said my dad was going to live, and he looked just like you. He had a beard and seemed very calm, just very, and he said that my dad was going to live, and you know what? My dad didn't live. But should I blame it on him? But I had hope on him saying that.
Sure.
So a lot of people do, if somebody says all these, I call it, flowery words and stuff, but you really have to have your own strong intuition. And right now it's jaded in most people. And a lot of people are arrogant and they want to be right. I'm not saying you, because you do give a chance to everyone to talk. But this on the internet, what I've experienced is they twist a lot of things. They make you look bad, and they don't want to take accountability of themselves just because I've said something about them, or they miscrew everything. And then they judge me of the way that I look, or just because I'm an immigrant. But the United States of America is as a whole, it's all immigrants here. If you think about it, that's why it is called the United States of America, being united with each other. But are they practicing? What do you think? Are we all united?
No, clearly not. And that's part of the deception. It's part of the devil's game, right? Things are not always as they seem. And while what you're saying is true, Callie, about the people in the world, everything I've been learning about consciousness and meditation and the reality of who we are, the only thing that matters, right, is the presence of being, because we can only be here and now. And so that is the practice of being a human, is not to judge, because if we're filled with judgment and filled with opinions, then we get reactive. We get these expectations, we get these
And
ideas.
it's very contagious. One person, one leader can spread a lot of false things about you, And there's a lot of people on the bandwagon who are just going to be they're so thirsty to put that person up without actually even knowing that person, and just making a bunch of bullshit. And if you pay too much attention, I have a very thick skin. I've lived in America for a really long time, and I've worked a lot of jobs face to face with different types of personalities, where it's almost like I have to, like, it is like a survival here. It's been, I mean, even if you're happily married, you're a woman, happy, there's going to be struggles in life. In this place, I mean, there's a lot of people use these generalized words now, especially on the internet, like hell realm. Like that to me, every time somebody says hell realm, like I roll my eyes. I'm like, oh, that again. It's like labeling. Yeah, this place is fucking fucked
Well,
up. This society is getting worse and worse. And maybe it's, to me, it's always been like that. To me, the release will be death. Death is supposed to be celebrated, but this place makes it seem like it's morbid and just like disgusting. Like, for to be honest with you, Jeff, I mean, Jack, I don't want to come back here and repeat this.
here,
Um,
actually, Callie, let me jump in there, please. Sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned that before, and I had heard something somewhere. It pointed out some signs that said, if this happens and this happens, this might be your last time incarnating in this world. And I had seen those signs. Okay, I saw the signs that whether this idea was real or not, I'd seen the signs that said, okay, Jack, this might be your last time incarnating here on Earth. And I heard that after I started feeling love. I fucking wept. I wept so much because I love this world. I love Mother Earth. I love the animals, the nature, the mountains, the rivers. I love the people. I love the creativity. I love
See
love.
that I don't love that part, Jack. I'm very different in that, but I have my own opinion, um, and I respect that you. I It's different from yours. For me, it's a complete opposite.
Well, there's more though, because now I'm not.
Nature's ugly. It's dog eats
That's
dog.
it's ugly when you don't find the beauty.
I mean, there is beauty. Come on, like there is it's just ugly.
When you don't
It's
find the
survival of
beauty.
the fittest. There is
No,
beauty, but there's more. It's more like no, not much beauty. But the thing is, a lot of people get stuck in the clouds, in the fantasize, in the illusion. Actually, even in Hinduism, they say that a lot of people are stuck in a heads thing because it's not true, but they want that gratification. And again, I'm not trying to put you down, Jack. It's just my total opinion,
I
which
know.
could is totally wrong. So I don't want you to take it wrongly.
No,
Um,
I won't. I mean, you're everyone is entitled and free to walk the path they walk, right? And they're going to walk the path they believe. But
mhm.
Callie, it's facts. The world is ugly when you fail to see the beauty. Whose
No, the facts
responsibility is
is
it?
the world is ugly, and yeah, there is beauty.
Okay, you
Obviously,
win.
there is
Callie,
beautiful.
Callie, you win. Then the ugliness outweighs the beauty in your world. It's not that way in mine. It's not.
Mhm. And that's why I feel like you do have a following, and you give hope to people, and I hope it's real, because you have a lot of people who don't like you because they're saying that you're a fraudster and you're misleading people and leading them to something that they're wasting their time. And am I not right? Am I not? I
I
mean, don't
You're
you have a lot
accurate,
of haters? A
Callie.
lot of
You're
videos made of you that you're a fraudster, and you're basically just leading people and you're milking it off. You're basically just another Rajneeshi. Rajneesh at least got laid. He had a bunch of fucking white women leave their husbands and fuck him, and he drove a Bentley. Wouldn't you want that life? Have your own community and fuck a bunch of very pretty hot women and
Well,
ride a
what are
Bentley?
you offering exactly?
I'm
Jack,
just
I'll take
saying.
over here for you as your legal
I'll let
representation and
Mr. Proper
spokesman.
Instruction talk now. I'll give him. He's been very patient in the background. I hope
Yeah.
you've been you keeping and listening to our conversation, or I hope I didn't bore you.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily waiting to say anything. I'm more just observing. I'm in more of an kind of a intentional observe and listen mode without making a determination on it.
So you can say whatever you want. I would actually listen to your opinion.
Well, thank
Well,
you.
Yeah.
he asked you.
I'd have to form one first.
We have to think about it now.
No,
Yeah, I think that a lot of this stuff is paradoxical and dualistic, and then there's kind of a space of oneness. I don't know if it's above or beyond, but kind of with most things, I think a state of neutrality, where because we don't control what it is or what it's going to be, it's probably best for the individual to uh, take that position of neutrality, right? Because if not, you're basically left with, if you're not going to do the whole, I'm going to be positive about yourself in life, it's better to be neutral, because the alternative is everything sucks, it's all bad, it's all ugly. And obviously, we're susceptible to mind and heart control. So if you wake up every day and you tell yourself the same story, there's a good chance that you're going to be correct for yourself, whether that's the objective reality or everyone else's experience or just yours and others like you, right? And when I say like you, I mean just what you choose to see and not see. So, even if it's a true statement that, the evil or the ugliness here outweighs the good, you still get an opportunity to test yourself and challenge yourself on how much you're going to feed into that mass negativity versus how much you're going to choose something different for yourself and for the rest of your time here, right? As much as you can without ignoring, I guess, the truth, right? Or living in denial or delusion. I think that's potentially the challenge. We don't have to live in denial or delusion to choose to focus on certain things for ourselves, because that just creates a better life for us, right? When given the opportunity of the alternative.
So the alternative is not trying to find ways of your positivity from the freedom of your thought process. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's not an if-then statement, right? Like you could say, don't stick your head in the sand. You could also say, stop sticking your head in the sewer. Like it's with every statement that's made, there's an equal or opposite or seemingly opposite perspective, right? So I'm not typically someone who sticks my head in the sand. I also don't have to be someone who's constantly peeking in the sewer and describing what's in there, right? We get it.
No, but
And then
I'm
there's the
saying,
rest of
like,
creation.
just the way your body starts decomposing and you get sick, and even little kids suffering cancer. I mean, they didn't ask for it. And so should they also be thinking that? I mean, it's very hard when they're going through experiencing that in your body. If you're able-bodied now, I'm sure you've gone through some hardships in your body, even mentally. People have pissed you off, relationships that you've had, and just picking yourself up again and restarting and being positive. You keep trying to pick yourself up over and over again. It can get very like exhausting and gives you that hopeless feeling, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of the human experience in a way, and I think that um, all these different roads can lead to at least a few different perspectives, but one of them is that we are not the body, right? So I think Jack was kind of going into that earlier. This idea of pure consciousness and awareness, and that's
I
also
agree.
potentially a state
I
of
agree. Sorry
neutrality.
to interrupt you, but we're still living in this fucking nasty body.
Again, you've made the determination that it's XYZ, fill in the blank,
It's
right?
a biological body, and we're going through a lot of suffering just living in it,
But
mentally
why
and
do you
physically.
choose the same adjectives from the same list for everything every time, right? Like it could also be said these bodies are fascinating, these bodies are amazing, these bodies are miraculous, these bodies are
Not at all. I feel like
continually.
animals are more interested in humans,
Well,
but that's my
Colleen,
opinion.
The
right.
human body is constantly, I mean, the human body is a
The
replication in a
human
way
body
of an
looks like
animal
a
body.
pig. If you shaved all the
I
hair
get that
and
you like
everything,
hate
you could stand
yourself
up.
and
I
hate
don't hate myself.
the endeavor of
I
humanity, but the
love
reality,
myself. I love my mind. I love the way it thinks,
Here,
and I love my body too. I'm the you miss again. You're just
Colleen,
twisting my
I'm
understanding.
saying that if you were to take a magnified view of the inside of the body and realize how many processes are going on all at one time to attempt to create homeostasis, balance, and somewhat of a beneficent environment for the spirit to continue to inhabit, I would think you would be a little bit more thankful and grateful, appreciative, or just uh, I guess balanced
I
in your
disagree with
perspective.
you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend
here,
you. I don't haven't
Colleen.
talked to you much,
I'm
but
not offended by disagreement.
No,
okay.
no. But Colleen, if I may,
Sure, go
uh,
ahead, Jack. It's your show.
well, real briefly, what I'm witnessing though is you are you're protecting that position of the idea that you've got that the body brings suffering and that there's problems with it. Um,
It does. It's facts, man. Haven't you had even a
but
headache
but
or just
Colleen,
it is
here,
facts.
Colleen,
Sorry, I'm
regarding
laughing, but
let's tie this back to something you said earlier though, right? The total truth. You're ignoring a big part of the truth when you're only focusing on the sewer side, right? When you're looking in the sewer and you're finding the
no, the
suffering.
suicide is me existing and living here. I'm gonna be free when I'm out of this body. And I'm never
Callie,
gonna come back here. I don't wanna redo this fucking life.
I,
I don't
Callie,
want to X
you said
myself
that.
now. I'm living the most best way I can, and
Hmm.
actually I'm living so well right now. I don't have to
Hmm.
work, and I can live without money, and I'm doing very well. I'm not
Congrats.
complaining, but the way I think I'm voicing it just seems like I'm just very no, and even my body I'm very impressed of what I can do just by changing my thoughts and having the confidence in myself because there's nobody else who can pick myself up more than me. The God is always in me. I am my own
Hmm.
God inside of me. It's always been there. I'm not going to be searching to kind of some kind of religion, even though I was raised Hindu and there's a lot of other new age religions and stuff. I don't go and follow. I actually mock those people when they're talking about Jesus because of all the images and stuff. I don't, to me, that's like comical to me, but that's just me.
Okay. Um,
I would encourage you to step back from what you believe and look at if what you're saying is actually as true as it could be. Like, for
It's
instance,
not
you
a
said,
belief. I don't have a
if I
belief.
could just finish as you fight against
Go
yourself
ahead.
and
Okay,
me
go
and the
ahead.
reality.
Okay, go ahead.
So you said that you're not going to deny reality or stick your head in the sand and then proceeded to go ahead and do it because we've observed certain processes of the body. And while we can't ever really know anything here conclusively, there's a fair bit of evidence to show that what I just said or pointed out is somewhat factual, right? We'd all be dead at this point if we didn't have a body that was constantly seeking to create some form of balance or homeostasis, right? So you said, well, you don't agree with that. Well, it's not really up for debate, right? Absent some kind of horrific disease or ailment, right? Because I'm sure there's cases where these systems shut down and then you can be killed by, you know, a hangnail at that point. But I'm pretty sure immune system is a thing. I'm pretty sure that balance and homeostasis is a thing. I'm pretty sure that certain types of cells and how they function are a thing, right? So yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you're going to say something, then actually see how that could apply all the way down the line, right? And not stick your head in the sand and not deny reality in favor of a belief, which I don't see how it benefits you in any way to walk around
I'm not
choosing the
sticking my
experience you
head in
choose.
the sand. I'm a realist. And when I
Well,
want the truth. And I think you're misunderstanding me. But,
it's
we all, this is the way, I mean, I know English is my second language. So maybe just the way you even like giving me this advice, it just, I just completely disagree. I just don't think you really understood. But that's okay. I
well,
mean, we're all in our own.
hey,
The
Colin,
presumption that I'm not understanding versus you choosing to be disagreeable is
No,
precisely
I'm not even
the
disagreeing. I'm just saying,
you disagreed with everything that's been put forth, including creation
yeah,
and how it works.
right,
I feel like you
Callie,
have your own way in your set ways. I mean,
Callie,
just your whole channel, proper instruction. So you're
Callie.
tunnel visioned.
Oh
Okay,
my
go ahead,
goodness.
Jack.
There
I'll
you go
stop
again. You're
talking.
going to find everything bad, wrong, and negative about me, just like you did the human body,
Not
creation,
at
and
all.
everything.
Not at all.
You're proving what I
You're
just
taking
said
it
to be
wrongly.
true. You disagreed with me about you being disagreeable, and then went to disagree again. I mean, it is rather fascinating.
It is. Callie, this this is another example of what I'm seeing is some of your beliefs are being tested. Okay. And we are pressing back into some of your beliefs, trying to get you to see a different direction, but you keep bringing us
But we
back
all
to
have
the direction.
beliefs. Sorry, I didn't
Sure,
mean to interrupt,
sure.
but everybody, you have a belief, I have a belief.
Yep.
Proper instruction as a belief.
But we don't have to defend them. We can actually entertain each other's beliefs to see where the value is found, right? But if we're not willing to consider them, they're not going to they're not actually going to be understood. And I think that might be what's happening here. um, hey, little
Literally, I'm
Lips,
having a good time. You guys,
good. I
you
am
got
too.
me. I'm not, I don't want to have a fucking serious debate and stuff. Like, I just really accept you even having me on your show, Jack. Like, seriously. And even talking to Mr. Proper Instruction. And he was a
It's
good,
an honor.
My
guest. He didn't
given
even like
name is Paul, by
talk
the way, in
over.
case you didn't know.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, he didn't talk over and was very, I respect etiquette, and having a grown conversation with each other. I don't think I know everything, and I'm always searching for the truth, but I also don't want a lot of bullshit, and I don't want to be led, and I want to be able to make my own decisions based on my experiences and my judgments, and then also then filter that through. And it could be wrong. Yeah, it could be wrong. But I feel like we're all learning, um, and we have this forum to talk to each other about it.
Um, Here, please, if I may. El Perro, welcome to you. And a question, a contribution from Hank. Thank you for that. What does Paul, El Perro, and Collie think about Snafu, Snaps, and Illumitomi's Doomsday Cult?
The answer for me is I don't think about it. Next.
Yeah, I've never even heard about it. I don't pay attention to them. And I came up, and greetings everybody. I came up, Callie, because I'm in agreement with Jack and Paul in this existentialism that we are dealing with. It is truly the question of how important our life is, how long it's going to be, and whether it's worth it and stuff. And I find it kind of contradictory. Like the two gentlemen above have been pointing out, you're arguing things and saying that you're agreeing is just I think it's a little what would I
I'm
say?
not arguing. I'm just
I
having a conversation.
I
Jack, do you
I
think
I
I'm
would
arguing, or do you
I
think
would
I'm having a
I
conversation?
wasn't. I thought you were just speaking about etiquette, so there's another contradiction.
Please.
I understand that, Jack. I'm keeping it cool. I'm just pointing out another contradiction in time. So I feel it's a level of cognitive dissonance that you need to get over while you're saying that you are a realist and seeking truth.
It can be jaded because you guys are God worshippers.
I don't worship
Paul and
God. I
you.
don't. No. Well, how do you profess to know me as a worshiper of God?
I thought you were.
No,
The way you're talking.
I'm agnostic.
Wow. Okay. I was not aware of that with you.
I've said many times I am not a Christian.
Oh, I understand that.
So
Yeah.
agnostic is there's something out there, but it's not like the gods that most people follow, like religion, like a label religion. Is that
Right,
what it is?
right. Yes,
Okay.
because I believe in um, the discernment between, particularly noted in the scriptures where they say when Moses went to the mount and came back, he said that when he addressed God and asked him who he should tell the people he spoke to, he said, I am. In the next verse, instead of saying I am, he said, God, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Jacob, and all that. That was not the instruction that God actually gave to Moses. So Moses brought the law. Jesus taught the law.
Okay, so why do you say that I'm not? Because I don't believe in that God too. So what makes you think, just from me talking to Jack and Paul, I just want to know your reason for that.
That you're not what? Because I've never made any claims
No,
about you.
you said
That's
that
a contradiction.
you're on their side. So what is it that I said that makes you think that?
Well, you're sitting there saying you're not arguing, and then you argue. Just like when I made my statement and you talked about etiquette and decided etiquette went out the window. It's contradictory. You make them left and right. It has nothing to do with God. It has to do with reality. You said you're a realist, and yet fail to face the reality of your own contradictions.
But Jack didn't have he's a host. And do you think,
It,
Jack, I interrupted or even was a bad guest so far? I mean, I just want to know from you so I can improve on myself if he's correct as his observation.
It's not being said, but what he was pointing out is just there was an incident, right? There we spoke about etiquette, and then when you heard something that you disagreed with, you interrupt to disagree. It's a pattern of
It
what our
wasn't
minds
disagreeing.
do.
It was actually just trying to like defend myself of what my thought process is. But
Mhm.
I'm just saying everybody has their own freedom of choosing. I'm not going to force
Yeah.
anyone. I have my own belief system,
Mhm.
and everyone else does. And if it made it
Yeah.
seem, I'm very sorry about that.
The Well, as we're sitting here discussing different belief systems, because that is what's happening. Um, if we're not open to, if we're not actually, the topic today, reversing course, allowing our beliefs to change. That's really what it's all about. Uh, can your beliefs change, Kali? Maybe that should have been an earlier question. Are you open to your beliefs changing on what the body is and what life is?
No, I'm a realist, so it's not going to be changed because the way the
Okay,
body is, I understand biology and
right.
nature,
You've said
but
this,
then. Mhm.
but you call yourself a realist. Now, what is realism based off of? Is that not based off of the truth, right?
Yeah, but I still don't know the 100% truth. But I'm
Right.
basing it on my own truth
So,
of my own experiences that I've had
yeah,
in my life, and
yes,
I base it, and then I determine it. I filter it through my intuition and everything, and it may be wrong.
sure.
Just like you, you said I've watched you for a couple of years, listened to you, just like how you're gonna go. I actually thought like you were actually going to meet Trump in person, but it didn't happen. So
No,
we're all trying to navigate ourselves. But I feel like with all my research and everything, I mean, this place is crap, and there's no way of trying to put like lead people or anything. I don't want to be a guru. I could easily be one. I'm Indian. Both my parents are Indian, and you know how many fraudster Indians there are out there. I'm just saying that as an Indian, like a lot of people of my own race, they're a bunch of frauds, and they're just like Rajneeshi. He fucking had white women leave their husbands to fuck him. This bearded man, he doesn't look any more different than you, Jack. I'm just pointing the similarities. You know who he is, Rajneeshi. He actually lived in Oregon. It was like a big news of how he made it a business and he
I may have,
profited off of that. And they made fucking documentary movies out of him. And there's so many out there. Deepak Chopra, he's a fucking fraud. Oprah
there's
fucking brought him. I mean, there's so many Indian
Holly.
gurus.
Mhm.
And like, what makes you stand out over them? That's all I need to know, Jack.
Well, what we were talking about was reality and the truth, and we don't yet know the total truth. And you came back and pointed out that your beliefs are based on your subjective experience, your real life experience. But please consider in the here and now, what you are experiencing is a feedback, right? You're receiving feedback from other people who are like you, different than you. And so the question remains for you. I'd encourage you, see if you're willing to find a different view, a more neutral view. How about that? A more neutral view, because Paul was bringing that up
So I can
earlier.
be tamed. So I can be tamed to your guys' view. So then we can all get along and be happy, be merry and happy. Is that what you want, Jack?
Is that wrong? I mean, you're kind of jumping to conclusions when I'm just suggesting that if you allow yourself a more neutral view for the purposes of entertaining a conversation, that way you can you can consider a view that's different than yours
That's what I'm saying.
without
I have a view, but why do I have to bend backwards to get it to your view? Can you not accept
Collie.
my view?
Collie, I accept your view. I'm not disagreeing with you. I haven't
And I'm
disagreed
not
at all.
disagreeing with you too. Your view is your view,
Well,
and my view is my view.
no, that's okay. That's different. Okay. Here, please pause. Welcome to you, Machine Lies. How are you, my friend? Good to see you, brother.
Yes, I'm doing well, sir. Yeah, how about yourself?
Feeling blessed. How you've been? You've been. I saw you in the chat. You join in with any ideas or thoughts right off, please.
On reversing course or repentance, and change. I have to say, we've been going over sort of this whole battle of sort of being versus becoming, on the show and sort of pre-Socratic philosophy. And I have to say, I agree more with the people that say things don't change ultimately. That there's something that sort of stays the same, and that something is called being, right, or existence with a capital E. And through that, sort of, I think repentance, I think, as Jesus says, he says, if your right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. Right. So I think the greatest sort of sin is sort of a contradiction against yourself, and sort of, fixing, the sort of internal, disparity of our, contradictions, by casting out what doesn't, belong to us, even if it's a part of us. Right. So I think in repentance and change, I think that could be, but yeah, in terms of reversing course, I've reversed a lot, just this year. I've learned so much. There's so much I didn't know. I found out there's so much actually I didn't know this year, as last year, so.
That's the thing. You learn and change, and it changes its course, don't you think? Machine Lies, like what you even. I know you've been live streaming for a long time, but just your experience
Yeah,
has
there's no
changed
future,
over
because
time.
any small minute change could lead you in a 1,000 different directions. So I think the potentiality of change is extremely powerful, because I think if you move one grain of sand, you can change the world. It's like a butterfly effect, so it's like,
Great.
even if you do nothing, everything changes, right? So it's like, to do nothing is to change everything, right? Most likely. So that's my opinion.
Pretty abstract and out there, but it's true. Dennison, welcome to you. You there?
Greetings.
You join in with anything on your heart?
Yeah, I wanted to listen and potentially engage with the conversation about change.
Okay.
Nice.
That I was hoping TML would keep going, because I'm interested in that. It seems that things change a lot, but maybe if you zoom out, the more they change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, it doesn't change, A, because we're not separate from whatever it is, right? And then B, it's all one. So I don't think it changes from being one. Everything is happening in something or on something. So to say it changes it, things only change in relation to something else, right? So yes, indeed, if you zoom out, there is no change, most likely.
There's nothing new under the sun, so they
Right.
say. And at the greatest level, it is true. And yet at the subjective level, which is where we all are, it's also true that no man steps into the same river twice, right? Because he's not the same man and it's not the same river.
And yet I'm still breathing George Washington's air.
Exactly. We've got urine from Jesus, maybe the water molecules from Jesus. They're inside us as well. Who knows? It's all the same. It's all an aspect of an experience, and there's only one experience that's happening. We're all just parts of it. But swinging it back to the individual level of the body and the suffering versus the beauty, when we can just allow everything to be, the number of variables that are involved in just me sitting here, being able to articulate my diaphragm, my lungs, breathing out so the the throat box vibrates at just the right thing, and I move my tongue and my jaw and everything comes out, and then you're able to perceive the transmission of the vibrations in air that are happening into your eardrums, and all of this is happening while we've got bacteria and parasites within us, right? And everything's being digested. We're processing and removing all at the same time. It's incredible that our bodies are. It really is an incredible technology. Here's a man who knows about meat suits and meat and animals.
Jack, you know why I came here? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, Jack. I'm here to be the little drop of vinegar in the egg drop soup that makes Italian wedding
only he
soup
knew
so
about
perfect, right? It's like this soup that's on this panel right now is consistent. It consists of all the smart people on the panelverse. So you need the dumb guy like me to balance it out, right? Like that's why I'm here. I'm here to
Everybody
balance out the
poops.
intelligence with a little bit of stupidity. Lubass style.
It's perfect. Welcome, Lou. It's good to see you again, man. Most days I'd roll my eyes with you showing up, but because I feel what you said, there's a lot of smart folks here, and I feel like we've actually been having healthy conversations with each other. Thank you for joining me.
It's been good. I'm just messing with you, Jack. It's been interesting. I enjoyed the discussion.
And actually, let's toss a little credit, Callie. Thank you
Yes.
for bringing what you brought. Besides the background noise, I don't like the background noise, but I love the conversations and the ideas that you've been bringing, Callie. Thank you. The ideas of change. Can I throw it back to whoever? Paul, you want to jump in, or Machine Lies again?
Yeah, I can hop in if you want me to. I mean, in terms of change, I mean, you have to decide, I guess, in terms of creativity, right, and especially in terms of human creativity, right? Can we really change the world, right? As you said, there's nothing new under the sun, right? So, and it seemed like our attempts to try to improve the world, right, have largely sort of failed. What we need to change is ourselves, right? We need to change each other, right, and sort of focus on, using, what's available to us in nature to try to, reform human society, right? So, so in terms of not changing and not trying to improve the world, right? There's a way in taking what we have now in order to improve um, what we can, instead of trying to um, learn more about the world, right? Or trying to change other people to try to mold them to the pursuit of knowledge, right? I guess I'll put it that way, right? Because sometimes we chase things in the pursuit of knowledge, and then we sort of forsake others in the advancement of that knowledge, when we seek power and all that sort of thing.
Can I just want to respond to what you just said. I was in Florida last week with my son, and we were having a discussion. We were driving, and he said something to me that sort of relevant to what you're saying about knowledge, right? And he said to me, and I kind of, I took it, I took it for to be important really in my own life, is that sometimes people can have too much knowledge,
Right.
and,
Right.
and the knowledge that they carry can cloud what's real and what's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
and I
exactly what
was
I was pointing to.
surprised. Yeah, I was so surprised at my son for saying this, because he seems to be very sometimes too worldly. But I thought that was quite inspiring that he said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
He's on
just
point.
wanted to, yeah. And I
We can
forget that too sometimes. I take in too much information and cloud my own judgment.
we can definitely outsmart ourselves. I've done that. I've been guilty of that in my past for sure. And I've also witnessed myself. I don't know if this is the same thing you're talking about, but I've witnessed myself spending more time learning than applying, right? I think I need to know more and more and more, and I use that as an excuse to procrastinate a task or a job.
Absolutely.
Right.
I
But
think that's why he said it to me, because I think maybe he saw that in me.
hey,
Sometimes I can have so much information and then kind of just procrastinate.
if you don't apply it,
Yeah,
is it any value,
that's
right?
right. Yeah.
And actually, this kind of brings back to my personal testimony. I said this earlier. I found myself in these positions in life where, God, I'd done anything to get the answers I needed, right? So I could feel comfortable and confident about taking my next step. But I ended up in places where, hey, there's no time. You don't know, you got to move forward. And so moving forward without the answers, it requires faith. And actually, now that I think about it, Kali, if you're still there, finding peace without the answers, or even in spite of the answers, that requires faith. I think it took us off from where we were, though. Reversing course, repentance and change. What I found for myself, and I think I don't remember who said it, but um, if we share the knowledge in this world with each other and we help each other find the answers, that's what changes people. New ideas change people. But if we're attached to old ideas, we're not going to look for new ideas. And I think that's what happened to a lot of us here. In this world, I mean, in the greater world, a lot of people have become attached to what they've learned in the past. Feel free. Step back. Someone's got something.
I was
All right.
curious if Kali was naming herself after the goddess of death and destruction.
I mean, yeah. I mean, my first name does. I mean, my first name is Kropali. I have nothing to hide. So
Yeah, and it's weird.
Kali.
I have had this avatar for like 2 or 3 days, but yeah, it's supposed to be Lord Shiva smoking a joint, but I don't know. It is what it is.
I know she fucking hates this world. She wants it gone, completely fucking destroyed. Because she's just fucking done with the bullshit.
Right.
She's got her fucking tongue out. She's gonna be violent and do whatever the fuck she has to do to destroy it, and then I don't even know if there's a renewal, because they say, oh, you have to go to the purgatory, and then you go, then you have that renewal right after the purgatory. Everything gets destroyed, and then new life. And then we all, even like actually in Hinduism, they say like this is like the, it goes through different cycles. So right now
It's
in
the
the Kali
foundation of
Yuga,
creativity.
so right now the Kali Yuga age is everyone's brains. It's not even like your physical; it's more of your mental state of how humanity has their minds have rotten. It's Iron Age, where it's because iron doesn't it ages to getting rotten like other metals. We're not in the golden years. So once we overcome the Iron Age, we can get back to our golden age where everyone, humanity's enlightened, where we're getting along, we're building connections, real connections with each other, not transactional connections. Because right now it just seems like it's very transactional,
But it doesn't.
desperate,
Well,
and
Kali,
go ahead.
hey, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but we have that option now. We don't have to have transactional connections. We can have genuine connections if we allow ourselves. And if we, the only time that we cannot allow ourselves to do what we want is if we've given our power away. So I think part of this message of reversing course, repentance, and change, I think part of the message should be a reminder for all of us to focus on consciously reclaiming your power.
You see, for Kalima, she disagrees. She's like, no, there is no improvement or anything. You're just taking yourself in circles, and you'll be
Who
talking
told
yourself
you
in
that?
circles. No, I'm
Who,
just saying, like the Kali, the way I see the God. I'm not trying to fight your belief in your opinion. I'm just saying the way that they see it in Hinduism is the only way you're going to be free is if you escape from this reality, which is not even real. It's called. There's a word they call for it. It's a dream. So basically, do not get sucked back in here
Yeah.
to repeat this.
Yeah, but in the Gita, when Arjuna rejects the material reality, right? The god shows himself destroying, all of the people on the battlefield, right? And then he also says, neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays, nor is it slain. So they're saying there is no perishing in death ultimately.
right.
Can I just push back a little bit on what Callie said there about, I mean, this isn't it against what, in my opinion, what we're here to do? I mean, we are in this flesh. Yes, this flesh shits, it pisses, it stinks, it farts, it stinky armpits, but it also has beautiful love, orgasm, sensual touch, warmth. It has all of those things. Isn't that what we're here to experience? The good, the bad, and the ugly? I mean, if we are infinite beings and we're all
Right.
connected to one and we're all one source, then we are source experiencing the world in the flesh. It's our purpose to be here and experience it and love it, even through the pain.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, we've been forced and misled. Like used
I
car
think we've
salesmen,
chosen it. Sorry, I
used
didn't
car
mean to.
salesmen have brought us and spit us back in this fucking place where we did not. That's my 2 cents. Please don't
Holly,
hate me.
No,
that's
I don't hate you.
that's your belief.
I just personally think it's kind of an upside down way to see existence. I mean,
I
I
agree.
personally believe that we've
It's not for
chosen
me.
to be
That's a
here.
realist. That's for me being a realist. But that,
Holly,
you guys. That's the thing. You guys are trying
holy
to
cow.
get me into your own wavelength,
No, no, I
and
don't.
Wow.
I accept this
Wow.
conversation we're
Can
having
can
with
I
each
ask you a
other.
question, Callie? And you don't have to answer, obviously, if you don't want to answer. Did your father or somebody in your life constantly critique you, criticize you, project onto you? Do you have somebody in that?
No, I love my dad. I was the princess. My dad treated me like a princess.
Right.
I was an Indian princess.
Huh.
I had a driver, I had a gardener, I had a servant. Like
Wow.
I traveled all over the world when I was young, since I was 6 years old. I've been all over Africa and I've been all over Europe. My dad paid for everything. He was an expatriate, very well off, an
So
accountant
you
in
didn't have a
Africa.
guardian who was constantly making you feel like you were inadequate.
Never. I was
Maybe,
always the princess.
Okay.
sorry, maybe what you're going for, Paul, I suspect I know, can be created by exactly what she just described. It can be created by someone critiquing and someone not critiquing, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd like to go down the road and explore a little bit more, but we don't have to. It's not necessary. I mean,
Yeah, I had a personal driver. I have a personal driver when I go back to Zambia. And I have a
There
servant. He does everything for me. And
there
this is
there
real
is
shit. This is not like in America where somebody orders Uber and they think, oh, I got servants. No, I have actual servants who've been working for me for a long time. And I'm very grateful for the life I've been given, where I've been able to travel. Uh, actually, the first class too, because you don't want to be with the peasant travel. Just being in airports right now, it's horrific.
wow.
And I'm not
That's a
trying to
life I
brag,
have not lived.
but I've lived
Gully, are you
really,
interested in
and
having a male traveling companion?
not at all. I like being sole traveler.
Ah.
I experience
Um
life better that way. I don't really like humans. They irritate me.
Plus, Denison's
I'm just
pretty ugly
joking.
too. Denison's pretty ugly too, so I wouldn't suggest him.
hey. Um well, I get there is a reason for that question. The Paul was bringing up. And I think I
And the
get
thing
it.
is, a lot of people have assumptions for me,
Uh-huh.
me because I come from a third world country. But I lived a very, I lived a very good life. And
You've been
compared to a
blessed.
lot, I've been very blessed. Both my
Yeah.
parents were married till the end. I lost my dad in 2012. He was the breadwinner, and he provided every paycheck he got. He just gave it to my mom, just cash,
And
real
you said,
cash, not.
sorry
And
to
I
interrupt.
had a driver who picked me up to school, drive me everywhere.
It doesn't sound like you've invited Kali into your life at all.
And I'm very grateful for this life,
Yeah.
but I just do not want to repeat it because I've seen a lot of fucking evil bullshit that I just
Well,
don't think. I respect Jack feeling like there's going to be a shift, but I think it's always been like this, and I don't want to repeat it. I'm already bored of this fucking life. It's boring as fuck here.
well, that means
Boring
you've lost
people
sight.
repeating themselves, even
Golly.
online, just talking about the same shit. Go ahead.
Holy cows, dude. You're describing you. Seriously.
I would have just let
If
her
you
cook.
say so.
You should ask the mother Kali to give you some creative destruction in your life. She'll
Some
switch up that boredom for you real quick, like.
Well, let's just put it this way. You've had a very comfortable life, but what about the guy, who's like the paraplegic guy who's like in the street market, and he's really happy to be there every day. And you must have laid your eyes across this type of creature.
He's not. He's delusional like Jack. He should just shoot himself in the head.
Yeah, but how do you know you're not the one in delusion?
I'm
Exactly.
not, because I've
So you
experienced it,
say.
and I'm a real I feel like a lot of people are delusional. That's the thing. Even in Hinduism, even though Hinduism has been watered down, and it's like now
You're
new age religion, so a lot of people are like
But you're
mixed.
choosing to
Oh,
be here.
yeah.
I'm choosing to be there because
You've already
I'm expressing
chosen.
my.
Right.
You've
I'm
already
Kind of,
chosen life.
yeah, like
I
that
have.
guy's
I
chosen.
can't help it. I'm living
Yeah,
in my
like
body. I'm not going to
like the
exit.
street
No,
because
you
I'm
can help it.
Yeah, like the street vendor's chosen life. All right, like
Yeah.
he's done thinking about it. He's not gonna, unless somebody puts a gun to his head, and you do it, you could pry the life from his dead hands, right? So it
But
is
you
what
see,
it is.
Exactly.
again, you guys misscrewing things. I'm not gonna like f myself.
No. You're
I'm just gonna.
you're proof of what we're
I'm
saying because you're
witnessing.
here.
I'm witnessing it, and
You're
I'm talking to you guys. Even
I can't
experiencing.
misconstrue that you're here.
No, you're
You're here. You
misquoting.
have chosen.
Dan is
Yeah.
in your
Thank you, Paul.
misquoting,
And
not
you
Thank you,
can
misconstruing.
Paul.
come here to talk to me, and all of you too. I'm not just me.
But
Don't
you've
take things
chosen
that
life, Kali, and you
I
haven't
have.
chosen Kali clearly
I'm too
because
afraid
you've
to
had a
just.
very easy, privileged life. So
I have, and
there's a
I'm not
lot
gonna
of
exit.
contradiction in what you're in who you are and what you're saying. That is evident. It's self-evident.
No, I'm not gonna like the way you make it seem like I'm like a misanthropist and I hate human. No, I find a
That's what
lot
you
of
said.
no, but that's the thing. You're
I'm
misreading
just
things.
saying that you are here, so you have chosen life. You love life
Exactly.
more than death,
I
whether you
do,
like
but
it or
I would.
not.
I feel like I
And
would
you
embrace
haven't
death.
even embraced death because again, your name is Kali, but you have no relationship with her. Clearly,
No, but if death comes
she
to me, I'll
would have
embrace
kicked
it.
your
When
ass a
that
long
time
time ago out
comes,
of this way of
if
thinking if you had.
no, when that time comes, I will embrace it. I think you're not understanding me, and I'm not going to argue and have this debate with you. You have your hard truth belief system that's not. It's hardwired. It's not going to change, and maybe I do too. But I'm not. I'm not going to fight over the internet with some stranger who I don't even know
Right.
and
Is
get
it
As you
heated
fight,
over
possible?
it.
Is it possible that you're a spoiled little bitch that lost her privilege recently since her father passed away?
No, I still have the privileges. That's the
In
thing.
what way?
My
What way do you
my
have them?
when I go back to Zambia, I still have the same driver, so
Then why
everything.
aren't you in Zambia?
Because I choose to live even in America where I have a couple of property and
Mhm.
I'm building something for myself. I mean, as I said, I know in my
And daddy's
body
not
I'm gonna.
around to manage everything anymore. You got to
See,
manage it all
you're already
yourself.
like psychoanalyzing me, Mr.
I'm just
Lou.
I'm just proposing thoughts. That's
So
all.
that's
You
the
don't have
thing.
to
This is
take them.
how ugly the internet is. How they misinterpret you, just from a small little conversation.
You just
Because I reveal.
said, quote, people should put guns to their head and blow their brains out. And someone questions who and what you are, and then you immediately take the position of being a
No, but the
victim.
way you said, I'm saying like this reality is like that. It's
Is it
easy to do
possible if
it.
you're in this reality and part of it, you are also ugly?
Excuse me, Mr. Proper Instruction. I know your name is Paul, but just your name, Proper Instruction. You're very
Why
anal.
don't you finish
You
his
want people.
name? It's proper instruction motivates people. There's two parts to that name. You only
Mm,
mentioned the first part.
you don't have to white knight him. It's okay.
I will always,
You don't
I
have to
will
bromance
always
each
white
other.
knight. I will
It's okay.
always white
I
knight
like that
Louis is
too.
like
Paul.
a to me. It's like he's a
uh,
middle-aged man who just doesn't
I
want to
think
grow
you hit
up.
a nerve, Paul.
I
I think
will
you hit a
always
nerve.
white
Again,
knight
this is the person
Polypore.
who says that they are a person centered on etiquette, right?
In
So I asked
reality,
you a question, you won't answer the question, but you want to continue to call me out of my name and attack the channel, right? So
No,
You're free to
no.
do that, but that just makes you part of the ugly reality here that you keep trying to distance yourself from.
If that makes you feel better, Mr. Proper
It's not about
Instruction,
my
that's
feelings.
okay.
I'm not speaking from a place of feelings
And
or needing
Louis
my
gonna be a
feelings to
little
be placated.
sidekick bitch. It's fine. He's good
Oh,
for
That's the
that.
wow.
projection, right? That's the projection. You've projected on every other thing that you said,
I
who
try
and
to
what
be
you are, onto everyone
respectable,
else.
yes,
There's the real
Well,
and
Kali.
there's
speak
the
my
that's the
mind.
point. You're
But you
trying
guys,
and you're
just because
failing
I
miserably.
reveal
So let's
something
just get
about
who and
me,
what you really are, even more than the ugliness we've already heard and seen.
oh, there you
Yes,
go.
and
So,
you'd find that you'd be embraced with love too, even if you show your ugly side.
so I'm an ugly person, no love.
Isn't
What would
everyone
you
else on
call
the face
someone
of
who
the
says
planet, Kali?
everything here
Holy
is
shit!
bad and wrong and people should blow their brains out? What would you call that?
Yeah, you said happiness in itself was a delusion. So
While
I
in the
It
mean,
next
is.
sentence
A
saying
lot
that
of
your
you
drivers
guys
are
are
well, I
just
mean,
peasants.
deluded.
no offense, but you can go fuck yourself.
All of
Your
you guys are
drivers are
deluded.
peasants and only live a life to serve you.
We're
But you
all
know,
peasants here, even if I have a driver and a servant. That's what I'm trying to say. This
well,
place
you're a
is
Why
horrible
you redeem
communicator
it?
then. You're a horrible
You guys
communicator.
are in
I'm
a
helping you.
delusion. You guys are in a
Everyone's in
delusion.
delusion but you, right? You're just disillusioned.
You guys are narcissistic. So you want this
Oh, we're
following.
all
I don't even
narcissistic.
Oh
know.
There it
yeah, there's
is.
Oh, there it
there's
is. There it is.
That's the go-to.
narcissism.
That's the
Everything
go-to
that
nowadays.
disagrees is a
I'm
Immature.
just trying to
narcissist.
You
defend
just said
myself with
you
all these
can't make this up,
middle-aged
right?
men trying to
My
Cannot.
defend.
drivers are
I'm trying to defend
peasants.
Jesus.
myself.
Everyone's dumb but me. They should blow their brains out, and they're
And we're the
narcissistic.
narcissist. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta
That
love it.
shit fell apart quick, bro.
The internet is a psychologist's wet dream. That's the bottom line, right?
It
Oh,
really is.
that
And
I
you
have,
feeding into
I
it and
have so much.
labeling me and
Oh, God.
putting me on a spotlight. But hey,
Kali,
that's the
Yes,
way the
I
internet
did that to
is.
you. Everyone's constantly doing something to you. You're not doing it with and to yourself, right? I told you to get up today and get up here and say everything that you've said. I did that.
Be blessed, everybody. I'm down. I'm gonna drop down. I see Jack's about done with it. So have a good day. Thanks for having me up.
much love to you.
Peace out,
Hopefully, I
bro.
entertained you, Jack. You're the host. Hopefully, I didn't offend you. I have to go too.
No, you're fine.
But I appreciate you having me on your show. As I said, I respect your opinion. I've been watching you. I don't agree with it, but it is kind of fascinating. You have a following, whether it's fake or real, or these ass kickers who are literally kissing your asshole. Go for it,
You
man.
would like that,
Oh,
wouldn't you?
wow.
No,
Wow.
you
Wouldn't you
Lou
like
Kali.
that?
are you
Have
Are
Lou.
you
you
ever had your
upset that
asshole
Jack?
licked? You shouldn't
Lou,
knock it
you
until you
Are
love
you
try
that
it.
upset
shit,
that Jack
and
has
so
a
does
following
Kali.
and
Just
you
because you
don't?
like that attention, I don't want any of that fucking
Kali.
attention.
Are you
Hey, Kali.
sure?
Actually,
Come
please,
on now, Lou, you're everywhere.
please, Lou, hold on. Kali, you sitting here, you have many times repeated yourself about how you claim to be a realist as you deny reality beyond what you think, right? You
No,
argue
that was
to,
my opinion.
you're interrupting
You
me
took
again.
it.
Please, Kali, please show the etiquette that you started with and that you said that you care about, because we're you're casting some accusations at me, right? And others who are here without really recognizing your own patterns. So please, thank you sincerely. I appreciate you joining. Um, I'm I'm grateful to have supporters, but the way you described it, you're a fascinating one, my friend. And I don't want to judge. I do want to thank you. Thank you for joining. Um, I hope you can change your opinions. How about that?
Can I talk now?
Please.
No, I appreciate you having me. I think you just misunderstood me and also the guests, because you guys are all sidetracked in your own illusions, and maybe I am too. But hopefully, we can have an open conversation in future. Maybe I might be a good co-host to you, just so I could get
There it is, Jack.
you want like a good co-host. I'd love to
You mean
be
somebody
caught.
who doesn't purposely put themselves in the spotlight? Nah, it's not going to be a good
So we
position
can have
for
a
you.
two different perspectives. I'm on the opposite end, and you're on the God Jesus. And maybe you can change me. I could be your experiment, and we
Are
could
you
have
the
a good.
great opposer? Is that what you
Not
consider
you see,
yourself? No.
Lou. You talk over your head. You need to shut up. You need
I
to
told you I'm
close
not
your.
very smart.
You're
I'm
not very
here.
smart.
I'm here
You
to
need meeting
temper.
this.
I'm here to temper all
You
the
talk over your
intelligence in the
head. Maybe you're
room.
getting early dementia or something. I don't know how old you are. You're
Yes,
probably in your
yes, I'm a little demented at
You're a
times.
little
Yes,
demented,
I do
so
drink blood on occasion. I drink
exactly.
blood.
So maybe you
Yes.
need to shut up for a moment.
Why you don't love
It's
me?
okay. I enjoy you.
Why?
We're
Lou,
just
Why
having this
can't you love
Lou,
discussion.
me? Okay, I'll
please,
stop. I'll stop. I'll stop.
please.
Jack is the
Um,
savior. He's going to save us all. He's going to save the world. We're all going to be united. We're all going to be loving, happy, holding each other's hands,
I mean,
hugging
it could
each
start with
other.
you.
I mean, Jack is the forerunner. Come on. I'm just a little small fry.
You could follow the lead.
That's
She
what I'm trying to
definitely,
do.
she
you could
definitely
be
doesn't
Really?
want
president,
By
what you
telling
have,
people
Jack.
that there's no such thing as love or beauty, that they're delusional and happiness
right?
itself is a delusion?
Maybe, you know what? We could find unity here. We're all going to be holding hands, loving, kissing, dancing
That's
right
what
And
before
Jack
blowing
we
each
wants.
other's
Look how
brains
Jack
out.
is
right before
smiling.
we
Jack
blow
is
each other's
smiling ear
brains
to
out
ear.
and sink into this
That's
sweet
Jack's
release of
dream.
death.
That's Jack's dream,
Perfect.
right, Jack?
By the way, if nothing else, Callie has proven conclusively the dangers of listening to King Stephen
Mhm.
for 10 to 12 hours a day, rant about peasants and hell realms
Not
and how
true.
this
Not
place is
true.
horrible. And
Yeah.
I heard some Steven influence in there for sure.
That's
Um,
not true. But again, you guys are programmed in your
okay,
beliefs, but I'm not going to fight it. But thanks
all
for
right.
having me in your show.
we're all
Thank
not
I'm
you.
as
not gonna
smart as
lie
you.
to you.
I,
You're
Great.
miscrewing what we're saying. We're all not as smart
I
as
wasn't
you.
invited.
You're not.
I'll
You're
be. Am I going
obviously
to be welcome
fighting.
again?
It's all you've been
No, I'm
doing is
not.
fighting. No one can. No one can. You can't work with anybody. You just want to fight against them. You're the opposer.
I'm not. I'm just trying to have a conversation, but you're taking it like that. That's the
No, it
thing.
is
It's a
like
common
that.
What
theme
do
on
you
these
think, Jack?
broadcasts. If you show up with true care, it doesn't matter what it's for, you will immediately be met with the adversary, the opposer, the deceiver. It's a clear cut theme that we've established, if nothing else
No,
here.
I'm just sharing my thoughts, but you guys think it wrongly because it doesn't match with your thoughts, and you're not giving me the
Callie,
freedom of
holy,
speech.
I don't
wait,
think your thoughts match with
Callie,
their own.
say, yeah, say that one more time because that
That's you, Jack.
dude,
That was good,
you're
Jack.
it's Callie. I love you, my friend. You are amazing, and you are welcomed to return again. And I have hopes that we can find a middle ground, right? We can hear each other out when we step into the neutral ground. And in the neutral ground, I get what you're saying, Callie. I do. I don't think you've gotten some of the stuff that's been offered to you, though.
Okay, I'll be back. Maybe I have the
Perfect.
the standing machine derangement syndrome, and I'm gonna wean myself out of it. That's what you guys want, right?
Well, you name yourself Kali. I would
I don't even
suggest
want to bring
you
his name up because that's
you
gonna
reach
be
out to her
another
and ask
content
her.
creation for him. But hey, I don't even pay attention to none of those bullshit. But hey, if that's what you guys think, I can't control that.
I think you
That's
should
on
ask
you.
Kali.
Are those your servants in the background, Callie?
I'm sorry.
Are those your servants in the background?
What servings are you talking about?
Yeah,
You
hired
said you have
baristas.
servants. You're hired people. Are they the
Of course, I'm the
ones?
empress. I'm the queen of
Well,
all.
then
Like
tell them
I
to
know.
shut the fuck up.
I will.
Do it now, please.
But people don't listen. You know how people are.
Oh,
Just
then you're
like you
not
guys.
their empress then.
I am. They will.
Oh,
Don't
then do
worry.
it now.
But I'm leaving right now.
Yeah, but you
It's
can
true.
still
But
tell them to
next
shut
time,
up, you dumb servants.
they're dumb servants. They don't listen all the
Yeah,
time.
tell them to
You
shut
know
the
what I'm
fuck
saying?
up.
They can't. This is human
Give them,
nature. There's fucking assholes.
get your henchmen to kick their ass.
I gotta whoop their ass. Okay, I'm gonna whoop their ass right now. I'm gonna leave this
No,
fucking.
not you. You don't get your hands dirty. You get your
No,
henchmen.
I need to whoop their asses. So I need to get off this conversation.
Okay.
Hopefully, you guys. Hopefully I entertained you. I hope you could think about something. And Jack, think about me being your co-host. I would love to be your co-host. Maybe you could change me.
Feel free to reach out. We can talk offline for details. If you're
Yeah,
serious, reach out. We'll talk and see what we can do. But in the
we're
meantime,
united. We're gonna be united.
in the meantime, thank you.
You
Um,
can
All
meet him
right.
at his hotel room.
Oh shit, Lou, get your mind
Hey,
off the
Jack,
gutter.
I heard Jack
But
is an
have a good
amazing
night.
lover. Jack's an amazing lover from what I understand.
I am.
You are? There you go.
I'm always satisfied.
Oh God, that was perfect, Jack.
Nice one.
Oh my God,
100% success rate.
it reminds me of that joke where the girl laughs at the little guy pulls down his pants. He got a little tiny dick. She says, "Who's you gonna make happy with that?" He says, "Me."
Right. Right. That's it. Um, that actually, I did appreciate what she was bringing. Even with the pressing back, I feel we had some pretty interesting conversations. But it is interesting how different our ideas can be for real. I do believe, actually, there was a question I forgot to ask her about. How about the rest of you? If you had the power to change the world, would you?
I would be hesitant.
Yeah, me
Fair,
too. Me
fair.
too.
I
Because
think
it's
that's
the power that's the problem, Jack. It's not
Yeah.
changing the world that's the problem. It's the power. And power changes people, thoughts, emotions, mind. Power changes everything, makes things a little less clear, I think, sometimes.
Plus, any idiot can see how fucked up shit is. That doesn't make you smart enough to know the solution.
true. How about a smaller scale? If you had the power to change your world, would
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
there anything preventing you?
Mm, I don't know anybody else. Not me. I mean, I changed my, 2 years ago, I said it, two, maybe three, whatever it was. Several years ago, I was at a point in my life where I was waiting for the end of my life. Today, I feel like I've just started my life because I decided to turn it around. I decided to change it. I decided to reclaim my power. I decided to become the value in my life. I decided to be the one that had all the power to do whatever it is I wanted to do. And I've done it in droves in the last couple years. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but
Those ideas are things I'd never thought about. I never really thought about trying to change my life because trying to change the world I lived in. The two go together. If I change my life, it changes the world I live in. If I change the world I live in, it changes my life. I didn't think it was possible. I thought I was stuck. I was stuck in my house with the mortgage. I was stuck with the job, with the routine. I was stuck with the habits and the weight, and I was stuck with everything. But then what gave me the power to change was seriously something as simple as a new idea. But we don't accept new ideas if we're convinced with the belief that we're stuck, right? And I think that's where I'm having resistance. I'm trying to sell the world the idea that we're not stuck. We are not stuck with this president. We're not stuck with this government. We're not stuck with these economies. We are not stuck. We are free. We have the power. Do we have the willingness and the faith? Do we have the answers? Sorry, back to what you guys had said though, with the reluctance to change, because you're very aware any choice, any change is going to have consequences, right? And we don't always know the consequences of our actions, and we know that the path to hell is paved with good intentions, right? But I am absolutely convinced, the more I've thought about these concepts and the ideas, the truth shall set us free. When we're no longer confused or deceived, then we can move forward with reality, right? And right now we've got a world that profits from confusion and deception. That's why America is on this path towards fascism. Well, it's not a path. Fascism is here. It just hasn't been really clearly, I don't know. What if we set the world free from the lies? Don't you think we'd be able to have peace? I really do. I don't know. Thoughts from you guys? Any direction if you choose. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think absolute power corrupts, and I think that they have means today, right? As Brzezinski said, right? That back in the day, right? It was easier, to kill a million people than to convince them, right? Today it's easier to kill a million people than to convince them. But back in the day, it was easier to, convince a million people than to kill them, right? So the power, the objective means of power have gone to, a level of instability. So if I could change one thing, it would be, the big power structures, right? I would take those away, wipe those off the map, right, and have the people decide amongst themselves, right? All the like the sort of the nuclear weapons and all of that type of stuff. Jack sort of has a point with that, right? That those large, means are used to consolidate power in the hands of a few, right? Because back in the day they had smaller kingdoms, right? But the king was all powerful, right? So see how that works, right? You had actual power back in the day, but you had actual freedom too,
Sorry, Machine Lies. What if it's all bullshit? What if there are no nuclear weapons? What if all of that is just a psyop to
Oh
control
yeah,
our minds? Right?
yeah.
Like,
Then
I
I
mean, I'm
say,
not saying, I'm
oh
not
yeah,
claiming that they're not real, but
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
there's a
Definitely.
lot
Yeah,
of bullshit out there,
it's time
right?
for us to pull back the curtain. I mean, for sure.
Right, and take responsibility. I mean, people think civil disobedience is standing on a corner holding a stupid cardboard sign. That's not what civil
Sometimes it
disobedience.
is.
No, I don't believe that's not
Sometimes.
civil. To disobey the civil world
All right.
means to stop paying its taxes, stop getting its permission slips, stop accepting all its benefits and privileges, and free yourself. That's what civil disobedience is, in my
There's many
opinion.
levels.
It's not holding a sign. And I'm just, yeah. I just don't, yeah, I just think that people are misunderstanding what civil disobedience is. Because to
Yeah.
stop paying the taxes, stop, getting the permission slips, stop accepting the benefits and privileges, that takes too much effort and it's scary, right? And it can be
Sure.
dangerous too.
Yeah.
So
And
people lie to themselves and say, I'll go hold a sign.
I agree with what you're saying. I do. However, I also know that everything takes many forms, and civil disobedience, it can be done in small ways as well as large ways, and it's going to take it all. But back to your question, Lou, what if? What if the everything is a lie, right? That the weapons of mass destruction don't actually exist, even in America or Russia, right? all the more reason, which is what I think Machine Lies was getting at, all the more reason for disclosure to happen. And how are we going to get disclosure if the people don't demand it?
It's already happening. It's already happening. Again, I mean, if you'd asked me 4 years ago, do I think that your boy up there next to Donnie, JD, would give a speech saying what we need to do over the next 10 years is become sovereign citizens? He actually said that. He said, you can't be a sovereign citizen if governments and corporations can take your property. Well, governments are corporations. So for him to be saying those words that way and even explaining it in a similar, if not the same way I and others have been supposedly on the ground, in the back of nowhere, right, screaming into the void, that's proof in and of itself that this is a bigger idea, as they say, a new world order, right? Because they use those terms interchangeably. This is a big idea. This is a new world order. Well, it's happening on two fronts: on the technocratic slavery side and genocide side, and on the, hey, we're waking up and we're realizing authority is bullshit and that we actually have a power to choose side. I don't think there's any denying that. It's just not going to be broadcasted the way the opposing side will be, supposedly opposing side, right?
On YouTube right now, one of the largest genres is like modern homesteading, going back to the land, growing your own food, teaching your children how to live on the land. That's one of the biggest. Golf was the biggest for a long time. Now it's heading closer and closer to those ideas of self-sufficiency. Off-gridding, if you want to call it that. Although I think that's a misnomer, but yeah, going back to the land. I mean, to get out of their structure, we have to build our own.
Yeah, there's many who have that mindset, Lou, and I'm not convinced that's the answer, because it doesn't do anything to take away the damaging parts of society that are continuing to exist. And the damaging parts of society that are continuing to exist are spraying chemicals in the sky. They're putting chemicals in the water, pollutants in our rivers, right? We're destroying Mother Earth because of the idea of commercialism. Everything is for sale, therefore our world has been sold out from under us, right? And BlackRock is just a symptom, as is Donald Trump and the international parasitic fractional reserve debt-based slave system that's worldwide. Many people want to break free, and I support all of those people. I have met so many online, especially. I've had conversations and interactions, communications with so many different people going that way, right? My life, I kind of started out that way. My story is I didn't recognize it at the time, but my parents were homesteaders. That's where my life started out, was detached from society. And then I found myself a part of it. And now I want to fix what I became a part of, because it's broken.
Well, wouldn't you agree, Jack, that it's as you like to say, a yes and premise?
Yeah. Yes. Love that.
Nothing wrong with, great idea. Let's get on the land. Let's own something rather than continue to rent and be up under these bankers and these debt-based systems. Let's try to secure the property from taxation and feudalism. Let's purify our water and our food, but also be aware that we live in the world, whether we're of it or not, right? And there are real world consequences. So, yeah, the reality of it is we're going to have to sue these people, at the very least. Folks who are spraying this crap are going to have to get sued. They're going to have to get brought to court. If you're going to do it in a quote unquote civilized way, right, as folks like to say, that's their language, right? You got to hit them in the pocket.
Well, Paul, yes, okay. What the pocket would be the result, but going that route, that process, right? What is the purpose of the court? It is to get the facts on the record. You get the facts on the record, and the facts determine what is just and what is unjust. I'm suggesting let's use that process and use that purpose in front of Congress. let's have a public court of what do the facts say? What do the facts say about this president? What do the facts say about Congress? What is the direction? What are their responsibilities? What are they accountable for? Who are they accountable to? Let's get these things on the public record in front of them so they cannot deny being made aware. And I think the cards would fall in our favor, to be honest.
I keep hearing in my head as you guys are talking about this, the serenity prayer. You know it, I'm sure, Jack.
I forgot it earlier. I tried to bring it up.
God, how does it go? Fuck, I'm retarded now. God grant me
he's citing a prayer that he can't recite.
God grant me the. Oh, now I'm on the spot and I'm losing
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can. There you go.
And the wisdom to know the difference. I lose everything in my brain when I feel
and
like
the
I'm
literacy
on the spot.
to be able to speak it.
No, okay, that's why I came up with my
part of the serenity prayer.
I have to be the vinegar in the egg drop soup. Otherwise, the egg drop soup is no good.
Well, I get it. It's like the old Stan and Ollie bit where maybe the dumb guy is actually the smart guy and the smart guy is actually the dumb guy.
No, please don't accuse me of that. No, I mean, it's true. Like we have to come to a point where we accept the things that we can't change and we change the things that we can. And if we don't have the wisdom to see what those things are, then we're just fucking spinning. We're a snake eating its own tail. Nothing changes. Right? Nothing. What's it called? The mandala? What's it called? The snake. That we're stuck in that loop because we're not changing those things that we can change. Like, I mean, I can't change my mother and our relationship, but I can change me, and maybe in turn it can change our relationship. Right.
So, there's nothing to say that this can't and won't happen. It isn't going on right now. You're not going to hear about it. Right. Until it becomes mainline news, right? And when it does, it's out of the mouth of a mainline puppet. So that the system is created that way for a reason, to give everyone else the feeling like there's nothing else going on right now and it's never going to change. There's someone somewhere, and we can become that as well. I believe that's potentially part of my path. It's just paperwork. Fill out the paperwork, put it on file, serve these people, get a hearing and a meeting, and then speak your piece. And then at that point, you're basically petitioning them to do the right thing. If they don't, then what would be my question? Because all I got in the arsenal of tools is the civilized way, suing them and taking up their time and money until they establish themselves with the facts, or concede that we've established the facts and this is wrongdoing and it needs to stop. And then you know where it goes from there. If there's no remedy there, either you accept it, have faith that God's going to deal with them, or you take it to a different perspective, right? Which I don't know if I'm willing to do that. I don't know if I'm willing to physically, although you're well within your rights, arguably, legally and lawfully, to stop someone from potentially fucking poisoning you. But, it's a whole other avenue at that point. But I think at the very least, we can explore the litigating side of things, right? The litigation side of things.
And what you said, brother.
Sorry, the pen is mightier than the sword, I was going to say.
I've entertained it. I just haven't done it. I've had a lot of ideas, and that's just, I'm like a creature of habit in ways where I get stuck in my loops and I kind of do what I'm used to or what I'm entertained by. And I don't like to do the work, right? I do it if I need to and I'm forced to. So I've entertained doing a broadcast, and I just may do that coming up here where I call around, right? If nothing else, it's good content. And I'll call around and I'll ask them, what the fuck are you doing? Because I'm looking at the garbage here every week or so, at the very most interval, right? It could be even more recent than that, but they're clearly spraying all around everywhere I go. So it starts there, right? Calling them up, everybody taking that opportunity. I told Jack, we can do a whole broadcast around it one day where we just, who gives a fuck? We've done everything else at this point. So we have to sit on hold for 10 minutes of silence at a time, get these people on the phone and tell them, what are you doing? We know you're spraying garbage. We don't want it. This is our world as much as it is yours. And we have a right to not be fucking sprayed like bugs. Cut it out and see what they say, put them on notice. I think if everybody just did that, right? Even if 300 to 500 people just did that, let alone serve these people with lawsuits, I think that we could have a lot more effect than folks give credit for.
Yes. Actually, yes. The people in the systems, when they're confronted by enough people, it does make a difference. I mean, and that is one of the actual benefits, I believe, in the government that we've got. I saw it firsthand in the postal service. Keeping track, right? It's all about data. These corporations, governments, they want to keep track of the data. And so at the postal service, they kept track of the complaints. They kept track of the calls, and the complaints and the calls, it's data to review, and it is reviewed for the purposes of making improvements.
So Granger writes, psychosomatic illness. If you think you're being poisoned, you will get sick, potentially. The tiger that you ignore is a tiger that will eat you as well. So, there's kind of a middle ground in most of these things, right? So we can even put that aside, okay, we don't know what's in the spray. Maybe it's not killing or even harming us. I'll tell you what it is doing. And again, maybe I'm just really that delusional and the Cali lady is correct. Every time they spray, it blocks the sun out for at least a day, 2 days, 3 days. So, I don't like that. I don't want that. I want brightness. I want the sun, if nothing else, for my solar. Why should my power be interrupted because these morons want to do experiments with the sun?
They say they're saving lives. Those pilots are saving lives as they're getting paid good money, right? Who knows? I mean, I imagine that's what Bill Gates or whoever else is.
It's always the excuse for safety, right? That's the Nazis have chosen that to be their go-to.
It's for the children. Come on, Paul.
I was gonna say the children.
If we do a great job with healthcare and vaccines, we can lower the population by 15%.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, that makes total sense, doesn't it?
It does.
Healthcare and vaccines lowering the population.
Hey,
people eat it up, eh?
It is. It's the world we've been given. Hey, we're nearing 3 hours. This is a long stream for me. I'm feeling those energies. I'm ready to start wrapping up. Any final words? I'm going to allow Lou to leave first.
Final words. I don't know. Now I feel on the spot, so my brain empties. But I don't know. I just think this world is here to be experienced in the flesh, and trying to escape the flesh through spiritual, emotional, mental means, I think, is counterintuitive to what we're here to do. We're here to experience the flesh in all its filthiness and glory. That's all. Take care, Jack. Thanks a lot.
Hey, much love to you, brother. I appreciate it. Holy cows.
I just thought of a great brand for Lou. Follow me here, Jack. Lou without fear. Catchy.
I would love to see Lou. Actually, Lou does a pretty... I see a lot of fear in Lou, actually. Lou without fear.
All right, Lou, you're invited back here whenever this broadcast goes on tomorrow, because we got some life coaching to do in between some chemtrail notices. So
yeah, I got something for you, Paul. If you, if you guys will engage me for a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
And that'll be like my outro or whatever. but yeah, and somewhat for Kali, right? Even though they're not here, it's mostly for the people that are here. Right, but this is from the Shangzhou, right? It's sort of like a a follow up to the Tao Te Ching, right? Mainly produced by the students of the guy named Shangzhou, right? So so it says here, big knowledge is boundless, little knowledge is unbound. Big talk is unstoppable, little talk doesn't stop. In sound sleep, spirits mingle. On waking, bodies open out. They greet and grapple and use their minds all day to struggle. The humble ones, the high ones, the hidden ones. The little fears panic, the big fears calm. They fly like an arrow from a bow. That's the way they guard their rights and wrongs. They stick like they'd sworn an oath. That's the way they hold the victory. They die like fall and winter. They describe that describes their daily deterioration. They drown, and what makes it happen can't bring them back. They're sated as though sealed. That describes their stagnation. As the mind nears death, nothing can bring it back to vitality. Happiness, anger, despair, joy, planning, sighing, bending, freezing, elegance, ease, candor, posturing. They're music out of emptiness, mist condensing into mushrooms. Without them, there would not be me. Without me, there would be nothing to choose. In our actions, we take the self on faith, but we can't see its form. There's essence, but no form. The 100 bones, the 9 orifices, the 6 organs all exist together. Which do I think of as closest to me? People say they are not dead, but what difference does it make? Your form changes and your mind goes with it. Can you tell me that's not mournful? Is everyone's life really this confused, or am I the only one confused and not other people? If a made-up mind counts as a teacher, then who doesn't have a teacher? That's the end of it.
If a made up mind, what was that last again, please?
If a made-up mind counts as a teacher, then who doesn't have a teacher?
That makes sense.
Yeah, kind of in response to reversing the course and change. About changing. But yeah, blessings to you guys.
I'm going to have to go back and consider that one a little bit more. I got distracted and didn't catch it all.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
no worries. It's no worries. Yeah.
Much love to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
All right, TMO.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, you as well. All right, I'm out of here. As always, choose love, peace for everybody. Live, Lou without fear on this one. I'll see you when I get glasses.
Hey, much love to you. Appreciate that. That is proper instruction motivates people. To all who were part of the panel, all of the time today, holy cows, we had some interesting conversations. I think I'm trying to do too many things here right now, but it's all going to come together. At a last moment, I'm making some adjustments here. The topic, reversing course, repentance and change. The idea initially was just to remind us all to have a great day. But if you could, I'll leave you guys with this question too. For those who are sticking around to the end, thank you very much. I'll leave you with this question again. If you could change your world, if you had the power to change your world, the world that you live in, would you? What would you change? And then the real question is, what prevents you? Because the reality is the power is there. The idea might not be there, or the willingness might not be there, but the power has been given to you. All of us have the power, the willingness, the ability, have the power and ability to do so much more. Let me wrap it up there. I don't want to keep going. I am, as a last minute idea, I'm going to forward us over to our friend El Perro. He's got some stuff going on, I think, regarding tenants or such. Forcible entry is the title. I'm going to wrap it up. If you head that way with the raid, share some love and support. Brothers and sisters, thank you again. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless. Peace and thank you.